Hello and welcome to Princess of Azamar part epilogue number 33 million. We don't know. It's like an in-between thing.
That one got away from you.
It's not a season.
Time.
I realized halfway through that I didn't know where we were and what it was called.
Good enough.
Anyway, we are in an in-between episode, and I am hosting. Today we have Theo, played by Lily, in the top left. Next to her is Aridin, his brother, played by Alex. We have Arena in the top right, the Paladin of Ilmater, Nadam Nazir, Dragon Batman in the bottom, and then Silric the Rogue, the Informant Spy Master. Is that right? Informant and Spy
who
Master?
knows? Why not?
Yeah, sounds right. I think that's it.
That's
Jake will
true.
be
The guy
joining.
who brought thieves' tools.
Extremely useful.
Jake will be joining in the audience. He is unfortunately Rogar is not available. He has some regal duties that he has to perform, so he
He's
cannot.
also
Bridges to
like,
break.
he's kind of busy.
Yeah, absolutely.
His bridges to break.
Off breaking bridges, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Because
how
he is Rogar Bridge Breaker.
Rogar does he break bridges? How many can he break? Will he break more?
Yes to all of those.
You're ruining my cannon!
He will be here for color commentary, however. Anyway, where we last left off, the party together had finally retrieved the last or not the last, but the biggest and most baddest phylactery from Vizarin, and they managed to destroy it with the Hammer of Torag, and Hammer of Moradin. And
Wrong universe.
And with a final little snap, they wished themselves back home. And all of the current players here, and plus Nicole, who disappeared somehow, magic, I'm sure, managed to land themselves in Angate. And where they all land is, I believe, a summoning circle. Is that right? Summoning circle in all the cities? Or did the wish
it was a
not
wish.
actually
You
show?
did
So,
wish,
home.
so you could kind of be wherever.
You wished for home. Everyone was home, so everyone ended up home.
All right. Well, I think everybody ended up in the middle of this.
Barovia.
Yeah, that would be an interesting twist. Everybody ends up in the center square in Angate, and wondering what's happening, if they're safe, looking around, finding that they're all there, except for Bernham. Bernham is strangely missing. It seems a little bit odd, perhaps a tiny bit, structurally necessary, but it doesn't bother them for too long. For they just destroyed a powerful artifact, and so of course the party goes drinking, and
We're very good at that.
yeah, they are very good, so they don't need to take any checks to find out that they get drunk. And
We won many medals.
they won tons of medals just tonight. They were playing they were doing arm wrestling, playing that dagger thing. No fingers lost yet. And at some point in the night, they realized that they're already getting hungover. It's been a long night. You guys had a lot of fun because you deserve it. Rogar had to go off and do those regal things, and
Lame.
you hear from someone that it's okay. It doesn't matter that you're getting hungover. All you got to do is head over to the good old, the Mercy Square and just convince a good cleric of Chandralar Sharandlar that they're mortally in danger. All you got to do, you just got to get a restoration spell. That's all it is. It's easy. Most of them can cast it. They won't do it if you tell them you're hungover. But trust me. And you guys head over to Mercy Square itself in the old town of Angate. It's an old dwarven district, and you see this large, stony, blocky cathedral, which doesn't so much loom as it just, towers a little bit lightly above you guys. There are people outside, all doing their business, walking back and forth. There are a few clerics at the doorstep, arms outstretched, welcoming the sick, welcoming the hurt. Come in, please. We have food to spare. We have words to give.
I need words. I don't have any.
My good sir, where are your words? I seem to hear them coming from you. What's missing?
They're all gone, man.
The non-slurred ones.
The non-slur...
Oh, no, I'll take a check to be non-slurred. Whatever that check is.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. Is that
one sec.
sleight of tongue? I think that's
don't,
sleight of tongue. I'm pretty sure.
don't tell them we can do restoration. This is fine.
You can use either You can use deception, or you can try to use performance. Either way.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Well, I'm
there's
really
another-
good at both of those, so there you go.
Yeah, you managed to just get your words unslurred enough that it doesn't sound like you're drunk, and he seems to be like inquisitive, not suspicious, and he just looks at you and says, "My friend, what ails you? How can I help you today?"
I just I don't say anything else. I just gesture to my brother because I can't remember why we came here.
Brave want a restoration.
Stop.
You
I
speak
need-
up, please. I must know how to help you.
Yeah.
My
What
brother
happened?
here is gravely wounded. He's ingested something harming him. What do you want to tell?
What did he imbibe a potion or is it
Perhaps
poison?
of a sort.
My words,
not
I can't
technically
find
lying.
them. I'm so distressed.
Are,
It was
Can-
liquid in form and has had an effect on him, can't you see?
why did he? This seems. Well, okay. I can administer an ale. One sec. I have an elixir right here. It
No,
cures
he's
any.
had enough ale, don't worry.
No. It's not that kind. He's had enough. What now?
Poison.
Hail and hearty I was before this grievous affliction.
Why don't you try the elixir? It will cure you of poisons.
Excellent. I'll take it from him. And...
You take the elixir. It goes down hard. It's not very good tasting, but it's not the worst thing you've put in your mouth today. You've been drinking some at some really bad bars. Sorry.
It's fine.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, okay.
It's fine.
I was gonna say, don't talk about Nadav like that.
They don't clean the glasses.
I would
That was
imagine
a married
something
man.
And this stuff doesn't seem to help you at all. This is not its purpose. And he's just looking at you a little bit less inquisitively now, more admonishingly. And from there, you hear a little bit of a ruckus in the distance, and the rest of your party are on looking, like seeing if you're getting away with it and seeing if they should follow suit. And you all see this strange man like kind of pushing through the crowd. Make way. Gotta get through. Come on. There they are. And as he pulls up to you, you guys see it's this tall, skinny man. He is a half elf with slightly pointed ears. You can tell that he's got elven features, but he's not full on elven. And he looks just completely frantic. And he's looking directly at you as he's coming towards you. And
me?
all of you. And he.
Am I here?
Yeah, you're here.
All of us are here except for Burnham, right?
Am I drunk?
Probably.
As long as you drank, you didn't need to.
Oh, okay. I mean, I probably drank.
Girl,
I'm
why
just
would you not drink after we got rid of Vizarin's stupid phylactery?
definitely
Yeah.
drank.
His child.
Yeah, you also, by the way, just popped into Angate. Yeah, you were included in the Wii.
Oh,
the
hey,
wish.
Jetsam, I got you this sweet whip.
And some
Whoa!
booze.
So yeah,
Great.
he pulls up to all of you and he says,
Yeah.
please, great heroes, all of you, we must speak urgently. I can see
It's already taken care of. I've been cured of this horrible poison. Your amazing cleric cured me. It was absolutely amazing. My words have returned. I feel hearty and hale.
Could
can't
someone take
believe
his
it.
words away?
That's what he said. He said he was missing his words. The cleric on the pedestal said. He's just pretty mad at this point. And the guy's like, "No, I can't believe it. I'm only a few days away, and you're already getting poisoned. We're missing so much. No. I am not here to ail you. I am here to ask for your help." This man, he has like a weird robe on, and on it, on the center, you all realize is a familiar eyeball symbol. It's in fact the symbol of Savrus. And as he like gets close, you can see that he's carrying like on a strap this big case of some kind that sits in front of him and seems to fold out.
A case?
Yeah, you're not sure what's in it. It's closed right now.
Probably more eyeballs.
What's in the box?
We've been watching you and your exploits for a long time now. Sir, I mean, no, sorry, Staff and sorry, what is it? Staff and King? Is that right, or do I have it wrong? Okay, cool. Staff and King, and your good party members here. I'm not sure I know this guy over here, the skinny one, but
I'm new.
Doing a Lion King.
listen, I must profess to you a vision. You must look for yourselves before you can understand anything. And the cleric on the step says, you know the rules. You're not supposed to do that here. Go into your own place. And he's like, please, if we do not show them, there will not be on our place.
Oh my gosh, he's like V upset.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't want to make the cleric more mad, so I'll just be like, let's just go on like the front steps of where we are and like try to get him to go out.
I suggest a lot of water. Yes, next, please. Sorry for the wait.
Oh, can I wanted to try to give him like 10 gold when I left.
Oh, okay. Well, he accepts it, and he's
Yeah, and
a
be
little
like,
bit
thank you
nicer when
so
he
much
says
for
the
your
water thing.
healing. It was wonderful. I will speak of your wonders far and wide.
I'm assuming you
Rattle
accidentally
battle.
gave him some rocks.
No, I really gave him 10 gold. I'm decrementing right now.
I want to try
From
this
the-
restoration
It can
trick.
still be rocks.
You're decrementing it from the infinite treasury of Azamar?
Endgate, not all of Azamar.
Fair enough. Even so.
You're
My
pretty sure it's
personal-
gold, but it still could be rocks.
My
It won't
personal
matter. You probably won't meet him again.
I just don't want him to think I'm a dick.
Are you kidding? We're totally gonna meet him next time we're drunk here.
Yeah, exactly.
King.
The cleric of Savras pulls you guys aside. I think all of you would clearly recognize him. Silric, you know enough about the land, and the rest of you have been around.
After all the times that Pharaoh fucked us over, yeah, we know all about Sovereign now. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. So he pulls you aside, and you're now in like a side street where there's just like a bunch of market going on. He's like, "Thank you so much for meeting. I know your time is very precious. You only spend it wisely, but you must see this." And he flips out the little deck case thing, and it just kind of falls open with a thud, and you see that it's like a felt-topped surface with little brackets around it, like painted on, indicating slots. And he whips out from his pocket a deck of cards and begins shuffling. He's like, "Please, I hope this works. Please, oh, great Savras, just one more time." And he flips down a bunch of cards. They show up. You don't recognize the symbols on them. And he says some words and come close. Yes, all of you. Puts his thumb on each of your heads.
Huddle in, huddle in. Oh man, it's Ash Wednesday already. All right.
Please do not cough. You'll blow off the dust. It's very important to the ritual. And as he gets it on each one of your heads, you see a bright flash of light, and then you suddenly are taken out of where you are, and instead of this place, you see a weird, like, long, dark tunnel where just blackness is on the surrounding, and you see pinpoints of light in the distance. And over a few seconds, it seems to grow larger and get closer until you can see inside a strange chamber. And it's very hard to discern what's going on in the background and the surroundings, but what you can see very clearly in the center is Bernum swinging down in like slow motion, very, very slowly, his giant war pick that he's only had for a short time, a snarl on his face and anger in his eyes. And as you like look around for what he's hitting, the like light gleams down the pick and thunders down on this surface that just materializes as it hits. A shockwave goes out, and you see this strange orb-like thing, rippling and changing sides and edges.
So the thing he hit is orb shaped.
Yeah.
Okay,
roughly.
got it. So it's like almost like something invisible was there, but then when he hit it, it could.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
It kind of
got
like
it.
waved into existence,
Got
and it's moving and changing much faster than he is. He's going in slow motion, and this thing is lifelike and full speed, just constantly manipulating, edges and sides forming, and then disappearing once again. As he slams down upon it, you see like a brief crack form, and then shoot downwards into some unknown space that you cannot see anymore. But Bernum is recoiled from it and reels backwards instead of falling through. And you see the shape completely reform itself almost instantaneously in comparison to the slow speed.
Wow.
As you do this, the form begins to show like images on its surface, first of runes and strange text, but then they kind of congeal into this one spot, and they seem to just form an eye and a pupil, which looks directly at you all, outwards from the vision,
It's
as
not
Burnham
comforting.
freezes. No, not at all. It seems very strange. And Burnham freezes in time with the pick, like, recoiling backwards still, and him trying to put his weight against it. As it looks deeply at you, everything else fades, and all that's left is that pupil as the light dims.
I think I had too much of that poison.
I think I should have given him the elixir.
Too
Yeah,
much cure.
You guys just are back in Angay, you realize. Like, the darkness is just gone.
We're in the alley still.
Yeah, you're still in the... It's not an alley. It's like a big side street. There's a market.
Yeah, sure.
There's plenty of people all over. A few of them are looking, but it's not that weird.
Nadam, quiet to Nadam. Nadam, find out who this guy is.
Please, I'm but a humble cleric. Listen. I have to tell you. This may seem strange, but we take it upon ourselves in the Church of Savras to examine all goings on and make sure that the plan is being followed. Right?
All right. What
Yeah,
do you
sure.
want us to do?
Well, we've been watching you guys for a long time. You had your cleric who was strangely intimate with the god himself, and he got into all kinds of things, and it was all passed down from on high, they all said. Savras had his machinations, the leaders had theirs, everyone passed things down, and we each had our little place, but mostly it was to watch and make sure you all went to the right places. And you did. We didn't need to interfere at all. It was amazing. It's proof of his benevolence and his knowledge.
But now...
But as he nudged you into the right places, it was supposed to prevent the coming, the problem, the end, the stopping of the sight. You've heard of it, right? He sees the future, but it ends at some point.
Wouldn't be the world ending, would it?
No, of course not. I
Yeah,
hopefully.
sure. Everybody has their limits, even gods, right?
If the world was ending, there would be more people involved, I'm sure. But his sight was going to end, and if there's no sight, there's no plan. We don't know where anything's going.
I mean, that
And
doesn't
you
sound
think
terrible.
whatever Burnham is doing has got something to do with it?
All I know is that a few days ago, we got to the point where everything was supposed to shift, and the new site was supposed to be revealed. We're already celebrating. Everybody bought their drinks already, and then nothing. We couldn't see anything. Most of my spells started failing. I can't even... No, I don't know what's right and wrong. I consult the cards, and they don't tell me what to do. The only thing we could see when we tried to contact him or his heralds was that vision. That's it.
Okay. First of all, I think you need a drink. And I'm not just saying that because we've all had a lot of drinks. But do you know where Burnham is?
No, we tried scrying him and we can't. He's blocked by something. We only know where all of you are. We thought maybe you would know.
That's weird.
Where did we see him last?
I
He
was
just
right
left.
before he made that
Wait.
wish, right?
The wish was for everyone to go home, right?
Right, and I guess that he defines that wish. So for home for us, as far as he knew, was here. Like that's where we met up with him. So that makes
Where's
sense.
home for Burnham?
Yeah.
So
Not
you're saying
here?
the...
Not-
Friendship check.
Burnham has
Can't
told
break
you
into
where
his
home
bank
is
account.
for
We
you.
don't know his
Yeah, but we-
hometown.
You
You know his
No,
hometown?
he's
It's
told us.
Weatherwillow.
yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely recall the name Weatherwillow. He's talked about it
Talks about it all the time.
emphatically. Yeah.
I guess
He
we
was
look for him there.
It's so in character that
guess
Nadam is
that's-
like, well,
that's
yeah,
fit-
Weatherwillow, he talks about all the time, and Theo and Aridin are like, what?
I knew it was alliterative, okay?
Hey, Theo, Aridin, where am I from?
Oh, dragon.
The Dragon
Mountain.
Mountain.
Town with the trees that we went to.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Great.
West.
There's no time for bickering. You say he's in Weather where now?
Weatherwillow.
Weatherwillow. I don't know where that is, but
Weatherwillow's on third.
I don't know where that is, but maybe we can find it. Maybe the mages know. If we could teleport there, that would be. We could really do to get moving. Look, the end of sight is coming on us very quickly now.
Okay. Yeah.
We know.
What is wrong with all of you? Have you been poisoned?
For someone
that
who
what
I
seems
say? One
alive, have
second.
you not
One moment.
noticed that we're all very intoxicated?
I put my hand.
Well,
Dom
hungover.
puts his hand on this cleric and kind of like centers himself and like. And he's not drunk anymore.
He just
And he
flushes
says,
it.
"Sorry, we've all been drinking a lot."
This
Did you
seems
just
like a
cleanse?
very narrowly scoped apocalypse. I guess it's bad if your god can't see the future anymore, but
Do you realize that all of us serve the cities to make sure that nothing befalls them? How do you think these places stand for thousands of years? How do you think the orcs don't just invade? They're way better than us. Tell
the
orcs what to do. They wouldn't hire adventurers.
the orcs did invade, though.
Yeah, they took over this whole city, man.
Maybe you guys aren't very good at what you do.
Yeah.
kind of.
But you just said that you didn't even interfere. You just watched it happen.
I kind of
We're
step in front
talking
of the
to-
drunken party.
We're talking to the sight man himself.
What is your name?
My name is Obolus.
Listen,
Obelisk.
Obelisk,
Obolus,
Let's go to
yeah.
the
Obelisk.
temple, we'll get them some water.
Look,
and-
we're all very
some
drunk. Could
breakfast
you have a
sandwiches.
name with fewer sibilant consonants in it, please? It's going to be very hard to say.
Obelisk.
No, we can remember this. He's the
Still
tall,
would be
pointy
able to
thing.
say sibilant
Yeah.
consonants
Avlish.
No, he's
Not
the star you
Obelisk.
put at the end of a word when it needs to be L.
If you wish, you can call me Obi, I suppose. Fine.
Well, what if
One
there's more
sec.
than one of you?
My name is Obi. I'm the one Obi, and you're my only hope.
Hey, guys, I think Opie is right. And this is really serious stuff. Okay?
Oh,
This is so
yeah,
serious.
let me heal you guys real quick.
Fine.
I remember this one. Yes, the cards didn't say you would be drunk. They're failing me. Restoration, lesser restoration all around. Except for the monk.
No problem.
He
Boy, there was an apocalypse every time you guys got this drunk.
Much better.
as you guys keep on he quickly realizes that sobering you guys up isn't the solving to all the jokey problems, and as he leads you to the wizard's area, wherever the arcane circle is for teleportation, he just kind of lets you guys talk, exasperated, and keeps shaking his head and nervously looking at these cards. When you get to the
I do want to ask him real fast as
Yeah.
we're walking, is the vision the same thing every time?
yes, it never changes.
And it starts
just-
with him striking nothing and then the sphere with the runes?
Well, we don't always see visions the exact same, but everybody reports the same general idea that he's striking the orb and it's recoiling against him.
Has anyone been able to recognize the runes?
No, we can't read most of them. A few pop in and they're just classic magical runes, mostly arcanic, draconic. But some of them are strange. Some of them are mixed between dwarven and other things.
Strange.
We really can't decipher anything, even if we can read a bit of it. And anyway, that pick he has is clearly magical of some kind, and it's not doing anything. Here we are. Did you guys have any other questions?
That was all I had.
Cool. He brings you into the arcane circle, and there's the wizard with the booking list, and he's like, what's your guy's name? You have oh, it's you again.
Yes, it's us again.
Thought you only said there'd be 4 of them. Or 3 of them, sorry.
Don't we run this place? Why don't we get any respect?
Yeah, you guys do kind of run this area, and I think it's just that not everybody knows your faces, and you're acting like a bunch of, drunkards.
All right. Even
Not anymore.
wait, am I drunk or am I
You're sober
sober
now.
now?
We've all been sobered.
Nadam, please introduce us.
This is King Theoden. Wait, no, hang on. How are you guys being introduced canonically?
Yeah, right.
Theoden, Eridan, Euron Galan, any or all of the above.
Okay, cool. This is King Euron and the staff Galan.
Are they now? You got that staff to show me? I'd love to tell my kids a story.
Kind of a relic. I leave it at home when I go out drinking.
Yeah, so do I. Anyway, he already paid me, so I guess I'll let you fly. But we gotta go over a flight list. Where are you going?
Weatherwillow.
I believe it's a halfling town.
Halfling town in Fensmore? Fensmore.
I believe so.
Yeah, there it is. Last visited 27 years. Wow, okay. Really in the middle of nowhere, huh? Fensmore rules. You cannot bring in any strange herbs, no cheeses aged under 3 years, and they request, please, that you don't magically enhance any plants you bring in for digestion purposes by beast or humanoid.
Let me check my shit. Hang on.
Well, I don't eat, so it's fine.
That's good.
I still have some sticks of that glow-in-the-dark chalk. I pull that out of a pocket, and I'm like, is this fine?
This show up on Read Magic, or is it low power?
Low power. Low power.
Whatever.
Do you want some? It's really useful. You can give some to your grandkids.
I actually do have some magic herbs on me.
What from?
I have
What do you want to do
mango.
with them?
You have what leaves?
The leaves from outside of the tomb.
You can see behind them.
Grind them up and eat them, and they heal you.
You can see behind them. There's a very small line of people showing their bags to a dwarf and a let me think a very very tall and very very old elf. And they're just kind of looking around the bags. They're not really messing around too much, but they are looking.
All right. Yeah, I'll tell him he can have some chalk if he wants. My glow-in-the-dark chalk.
Yeah, all right. They might like that. I'll take one stick. What do you do about those herbs?
I'll leave them in the bin with the water bottles.
Oh, you're just gonna dump them?
The water bottle.
I mean, yeah,
He glances at him. I didn't see nothing. All right.
Oh my god, this guy!
And he doesn't really. Your guys' magical items all get checked and cleared because they're not cursed and they're not evil. Nobody has a cursed or evil magic item. Is that right?
No.
As far as they know.
Jake.
Silric, I don't know you too well. You don't have any nefarious herbs on you, do you?
Oh,
Not that I'm
I
judging.
wouldn't tell you if I did.
Silric probably has ways to hide things. I
was
think I
gonna
can
say,
give the
if
rogue the
Silric
benefit
has
of the
them,
doubt.
they're well hidden.
You guys get to the teleportation circle, and as he's going to each one of the runes and chalking in a little, he's using his new glow in the dark chalk. He's like, I think this thing works for runology. It's pretty neat. He's putting everything down, and he's like, all right, hands inside the vehicle area. All right.
All right.
Oh, and last visitor left a note. He said, "Watch out." That's it.
That's very helpful.
That's
Thank you.
encouraging.
That's incredibly unclear.
27 years ago?
Savras is the cleric of Savras. Obelus is just like get on with it. Come on, we need to go. And he's like, all right. And without answering you, smack. The thing starts spinning and winding, and you guys see the whole city spin around you, and it starts.
I closed my eyes and grab Arid, and I did not feel good.
He gives the
Constitution
important
save for it,
somatic
Theo.
component.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a gem in the middle,
Theo, you gonna con save to puke?
Yeah, con save for puking if you close
All
your
right.
eyes.
Yep.
That's an interesting way
Oh,
of.
that's deception.
Are you lying to yourself? I feel fine.
It's fine. Your roll is good. Yeah, that worked. You're okay. But you guys
All right.
plop right down into a dark and gloomy looking forest. I just lost my talking to people window. Sorry. Where'd you guys go? There we go. As you guys land, you see around you there is a bunch of trees all over the place. Kind of normal looking wood. It's a little bit sparse, and there's just a small structure around this circle. The circle is just etched into the ground in stone, nothing fancy. And around it is a little ruin. And in that ruin is just this archway that's partially crumbling on one side. And underneath it is a strange-looking statue of a fayish, gnomish-looking woman. She's very small, has flowers growing out of her hair, vines coming off of her arms, and she kind of leans outwards from the little shrine, and her eyes are completely blank. She looks dead forward with a blank stare that's strangely intimidating.
And
A
just
very
that.
small sign
It's just,
hanging from her neck says Weatherwillow and points that way.
that's very helpful.
Is there any like plaque
Weird.
or Weatherwillow sign?
There's nothing else on the Weatherwillow side. It doesn't say anything like about mileage or have anything on the other side if you flip it over.
Is it like a deity? Do I recognize them?
You could do a religion check.
Ooh.
Or a religion check.
That's not good. Oh,
Hey. No, you don't think it's a deity. You think that you're pretty sure this is, if it is deific in any way, it's a demigod, and it looks like a fey creature, maybe some kind of powerful one. You know, like dryads often look like this when they're coming out of wood. It may just be a relief of one of those, or something, or some specific being. You're not entirely certain.
Interesting.
okay. Good to know.
Huh? Follow the sign.
Um,
I assume Wile E. Coyote hasn't been here and changed the sign.
the cleric is urgent to get along with it. He's not looking at the statue, and he eagerly follows you as you lead Aridin. Does everybody else kind of follow with this? Are we heading down the road? There's a very small dirt road winding its way through the trees. It's
Oh, yeah,
hard.
no, I want to go. I want to go down.
No, yep, we all go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. Look at one
Are
thing.
there like, I don't know, are there any like weird plants around
We
that
need
I've
to make
never
a
seen?
marching
Shit
order.
like that?
Yeah, definitely. Nothing too flashy or like fancy. There's a lot of like weird leafy ferns kind of things.
Oh, cool.
Um,
Right. I'm into
You're
ferns.
used to the more tropical is Sari. You're used to Barovia, where it's like grim and dark. You're used to, Azamar is a little bit more diverse from the places we've gone. So you've seen a lot of stuff, but this doesn't look jungly. It doesn't look tropical at all. It just looks like northwestern forest.
So no willow trees.
There are a few little willow trees here and there. Yeah. It's not very like. It's mostly tall trees, tall evergreen trees. There are a few small willows. Nothing very stand out.
And Nicole, you wanted to ask if we had to give a marching order, I think you said.
Oh yeah, like you said, it's a narrow path. Is there like?
You can give a marching order for sure. It's not that. So the road is small. It's not a narrow path. The trees are not that.
Oh,
close. You could easily just be in a group, and you can decide it if something happens. It's completely okay.
Aridin's in front, and I'm sure Selric's in back.
Did I bring my staff? God, that guy.
Dude, he was the worst. I know. What, you think we need to go whipping it out all the time for anybody who
Look,
asks?
this is why royalty puts their face on coins, so they can
I
go
was gonna
out.
say,
Hey, look.
you two
We
need
gotta
to
do that.
you
Dom,
two
add
need
it
to
to the
put your
list.
faces on more things.
Add it to
Yeah,
the
please
list,
do.
Dom.
As you guys go down, it becomes very clear that people don't often come this way. It may be that this area is populated, but the teleportation circle doesn't get very much use. You begin to it doesn't take long. You're only marching like maybe 30 minutes, but as you go, it seems that like a storm is forming overhead, and it starts getting windy and blustery. It's not raining yet, but you can see, it looks like it is in the distance. It's daytime, but it's dark out.
Hey, I found the weather and I found the willow.
There you go. You found your place. You all kind of go down this dark winding path that seems to lead into a valley, and out in the distance you can see that the forest gets a little bit thicker, and there is a single area with a bunch of very tall trees and some strange looking branches. You couldn't tell exactly what it is, but it looks like it might be what you're headed towards. As you go, I want everybody to make perception checks. And Nadam, Aridin, and Theo, did you look carefully at the statue or no?
I did.
Yeah,
I was looking
Nadam
for a
did.
plaque,
Good
so
job.
I was interested in her eyes, but if it's not in that area what I'm looking for, then I probably didn't notice it.
No worries. Yeah.
So perceptive
bunch.
eye.
A slightly smaller bunch,
I
but like pretty close,
didn't bring.
I am just
about a half bunch.
2 bunches.
I
I
see
got
all.
a 8,
Yeah.
so no bunches.
Theo just walked into a tree.
Hey,
So-
hey.
Yeah.
Not all the drink is worn off, okay?
So, yeah, Nadam, you can look far out and you realize that that thing in the distance is definitely a willow tree. It looks like a huge, massive, ancient willow tree, and it's very clearly where you're going. That must be Weatherwillow. You can't imagine anything else being the truth.
Oh my god, are they Keebler elves?
Like, yeah, it's obviously Weatherwillow. Like, it's named for that big ass tree, clearly.
I'm pretty sure we've already seen willows.
However, only Silric notices one other strange thing. As you guys are walking and talking about Weatherwillow in the distance, he's glancing upwards and he sees that while it's getting dark and stormy and this wind is starting to press against you and give actual resistance, these trees are just waving gently as though it's a small breeze up in the air. They're just
Trees aren't waving, folks.
Meshy.
Well, did you say hello to them?
Well, I suppose that confirms that everything is super weird and we're in imminent danger.
True.
Yep.
It is when you say that you start to hear the pounding of drums.
Oh, there it
faint,
is. Drums.
but it's in the direction you're walking.
So
Yeah,
like we're getting
exactly.
closer to the drums?
Yeah.
They sound like nice drums.
Silric, do you think they're
Do
all
they
going
sound
to be the
like
same
blood
person?
sacrifice?
No, no,
Or
no,
like
They
Is that
Do
no
it.
orc horn?
they sound like this.
Ooh.
No!
Ooh.
Oh,
Where
they're not
is
coming-
he?
they're not coming out for me. Dang it.
Chase that thing with the weird head!
Where's
You
the
can do an insight
skeleton?
check if you want to try to figure out what you think they might be.
So
Viewers,
sure.
for the record, I played the drums that normally played in the Tomb of Annihilation where there's a skeleton key, but they didn't come out over the stream, and I'm sorry.
aw, we heard it and we felt good about it.
Nadam, you asked me a question that I just did not hear.
I said, do you think they're all going to be the same person, or are they all cannibals, or...
I
You
think they all have 2 left arms.
Ooh, that's gross.
Probably
Yeah,
You can tell
weird.
what's happening
That
by
would
your
that'd be
insight.
super unsettling, and you wouldn't even be sure why at first because you wouldn't quite notice it.
Oh, that's
Just
a good
creepy
one,
enough.
though.
You can actually
What'd
tell
you say?
from your check that they do have 2 normal arms,
Darn
both
it.
left and right. And
But they're
powerful.
backwards.
They're backwards. Yeah, their left is on the right. It makes them really uncoordinated. Makes it hard to accent the right things.
Alex, not
They
at the same time.
are incredibly powerful arms. And in fact, with that roll, you know exactly what kind of arms they are. Because
Ripped
those are
dwarven
orcish.
arms?
Yeah, no,
Orcish
not
arms.
dwarven arms. Those are some dwarven drum beats going on in the distance. I mean, some
Mm.
orcish. Sorry, yeah, I said dwarven again.
It is
Oh,
orc horn.
Nadam totally has, what's the city he was in that he was defending with,
Oh, yeah.
your
Cavito?
soldiers? He gets Kavito flashbacks.
And as you guys, do you guys
Orcs.
advance, or what do you do? Sorry, I shouldn't assume that you do.
Those are orcish war drums.
Silric, what do you recommend?
I'm gonna climb the trees that don't blow, and then hide. I'm
Yeah,
a big
totally.
fan of hiding personally.
You can
I've solved
Hide.
most of my problems with hiding.
you can
Well,
easily
let's-
climb a
let's-
tree. You're a
I
level
would say
20
let's
and
do
there's no pressure.
some strategic vertical retreat and observe.
Let's
Yeah,
not
that's-
go to a death level height if we fall. Let's go to a leg cracker height.
Oh well, you got that ring of feather fall, so you can go to the
I can
highest.
go up there. That's
Yeah,
fine.
go to the highest part.
I'll go up with you. I got wings.
Nice.
Right.
I forgot about that. So aren't your wings very bright though? It is dark. out.
They are not out all the time when I choose to
Saddam?
summon them.
Nadam is going to climb a tree real fast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
Tallest tree.
we'll all climb some trees.
I thought you were saying that you were going to fly up, Arena.
No, I wasn't saying I was going to fly up. I was just saying I'm okay with going high in case I fall.
Got it. You can easily, all of you can climb up trees. Nobody's going to have any problem doing that. Nobody's drunk anymore. The cleric is like, I'll consult the cards. I'll stay down here. Starts flipping cards down. Oh, they don't make
I
sense.
can help him up if he wants to be up.
Nope. I have no desire to join you. I am no adventurer.
It's a tree, dude.
That is a future I do not need to know the end of. And he just lets you guys go. From the top, you can indeed see forward, and you can see that there's a clearing and a bright light flickering in there. Obviously, some kind of fire. you're still pretty far away. So if you wanted to vertically, like, or to horizontally go through the trees, you probably could do that, but you might need either like some assistance of some kind, or equipment, or a check. Either way, I don't know what you guys are going to try to do.
Can the Dom Spider-Man between the
The
trees?
Dom can probably do that for. Like, I'm just going to say you can use a key point right now and do that for the next like 10 minutes, because you're
Then yeah.
monk, and you have like insane jump abilities and running abilities.
And a cool whip.
The trees are also not that far apart, so you guys could reasonably like do jumps across branches if you wanted to. It would just be a little bit hard.
Let's let Nadam take point if he feels good about that. But then, yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah.
Nadam, do you want to go out and
Spider-Man
scout,
over
or
there.
you just want to like take lead?
I'm scouting. I'm scouting ahead.
Okay, cool.
I want to do my find steed and summon my wolf and have him sneak up. That takes 10 minutes though. I'll
Okay.
start it.
And so yeah, Nadam can go scout ahead, and that's one key point as you do that, and
Yeah.
then return to the party with info. Nadam, you leap through a bunch of trees, and as you're getting closer, you hear these chants accompanying the drums, and they sound weird and alien and malicious. And do you speak Orcish?
I can understand any spoken language, but
Can you really?
yeah,
You can
Monks
understand
are OP.
any spoken language.
tongue of sun and moon. Like if someone is speaking a language, I understand what they're saying.
And that's like a supernatural ability kind of thing. Like it's just you have it. It's not magic.
It's a thing. It's just always on.
Dang it, Theo, we can't shit talk Nadam and Dwarvish anymore.
When you approach, you
No, I mean I don't. I mean that I assume is for like normal languages. I don't know if like it's like super crazy magic. Like I don't understand.
Starting
like,
at
magic
13th level, you
incantation.
learn to touch the key of other minds so that you can understand all spoken languages.
Like, but
So
like
it's
if
telepathy.
it's not words, I don't understand it. Like if someone speaks arcane runes, I don't like hear words.
yeah, you definitely hear words,
Oh,
but they're not. They don't sound like a language you would understand, and
that's
you
weird.
also don't think they sound like arcane words. They don't sound like spells. You're not sure exactly what they are.
So there's an orcish word chant that I understand the words, but like
there's no Orcish being spoken.
That's weird.
so there's a chant.
Yeah.
But I understand the words, but I don't understand like
You understand words here and there. You don't understand
the
all of them.
order of the words doesn't make sense.
Yeah, not at all. And they sound like completely unrelated words. And some of them don't sound like real words.
Weird. Hmm.
Can I
Um,
see them?
You're in hearing range right now. You could advance to see them. You're currently
I would like-
completely out of sight, so they can't see you. If you
I would
wanted
like
to see them, they might see
sneak
you.
Closer. I would like
Okay.
to stealthily sneak closer.
Give me that stealth roll. With disadvantage because you're in trees.
With disadvantage because I'm in trees?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, branches snapping.
Yeah.
There.
As long as you're going to do it
Bird's
through
pecking at
this. You I mean, you can like, okay, it doesn't matter. It was your first roll. 13. You start to approach, right? And you're getting closer and closer. And you
Well,
can see
actually, I turn invisible.
Yeah, actually, as you approach, you snap on a branch and think that's a bad idea, and they don't notice, but you turn invisible and you get closer, carefully moving through the trees, and you don't care as much about where you're standing because it doesn't matter if they see you now.
Right.
You get on the edge of this clearing, and you can see into it, and you see this trio of obviously orcish like warlocks or shamans or some kind of magic user, like chanting around this circle, which they've like dug in the ground, and you can see that there seems to be this trench with some disgusting liquid pooling in it. It doesn't look like blood. It's a bunch of different colors, browns and greens and a little bit of red.
Maybe they're doing tie-dye, orcish
Gross.
tie-dye. Very
It does
famous.
look like orcish tie-dye. And there's this huge bonfire in the center, which keeps flaring up huge. And as it does, and as you get closer, suddenly a lightning bolt strikes down into the bonfire. And you can see the storm clouds up above illuminated as they swirl faster.
Okay, so they're doing something to the weather for sure.
Ooh, that's not good.
Now all we have left is the willow.
Wow.
So they're doing these three orcs are chanting in some, creepy occult language.
Yeah, and I want you to actually give me an insight check because you can understand all languages.
And we're mid ritual. We
Forget it.
are
Don't give me an insight check.
elbow-
Just give me a wisdom save. Oh, okay.
Oh.
You can keep your nat 20 though.
Well, then it's the same number.
Yeah,
I'm Mike. I am made of saving throws.
as you're thinking about it and getting closer, it becomes more and more obvious to you that this doesn't make any sense. It can't not be a spell. It can't not be Orcish. It can't not be an arcanic language. It can't be just a bunch of gibberish in a few weird, slightly related languages with a little bit Goblin and Orcish and Knoll sprinkled in. That doesn't make sense. This is wrong. Something's off. This can't be happening.
Okay. So, like an illusion?
Could be.
Just nonsense.
You want to disbelieve it, like thinking about that, but as you're looking at it, it just seems too real. You know that interacting with illusions is, iffy.
Has it been 10 minutes yet?
It can have been, yeah.
Cool. If I can get my wolf over there to sneak up,
Good call.
I would like. Yeah, I would like to have him do a smell-based perception check.
You would like to have your wolf smell.
Yes, he has advantage on smell-based perception checks.
Give me that perception check. I need to look up your wolf.
Cool. Alright, what is... Perception is whiz.
He's just looking up what orcs smell like.
Yeah, you
Bacon.
by the way, Nadam, you very much hear this
Bacon
wolf
and cheese.
behind you, but that's because you're on the right side of it. The wolf gets there sneakily.
What is it? DL1 to do that, right?
Yeah, 2d20, drop lowest one.
Okay. So 12 plus
Nice.
plus 4. 16.
16.
To smell.
Yeah,
To get a good old whiff.
So the wolf goes up. Are you like in the wolf, or is this just?
We can communicate telepathically.
Cool. So telepathically, you see that the wolf goes up and it sniffs and it smells. Certainly smells the forest around it.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly smells fire.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly smells something nasty.
Oh,
It's
Smells
not orc.
dumb.
Not orc.
It's not orc.
Huh.
weird.
Interesting.
Maybe there's some like epic disguises going on.
And
Yeah,
you guys are. It does. I'm just gonna say that Nadam you did your ritual fast to get the wolf out. That's what happened because you guys aren't that far back. You're only like 1,000, 2,000 feet away.
So am I next to the wolf?
Yeah, you're near the wolf. You can see the wolf.
I would like to whisper to the wolf that I know is Eridan's because I think I've seen this before.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is strange. None of this makes any sense.
Do we not have our thing anymore? Our
Well, the
communicator?
wolf is right here. Mine was getting itchy.
I know, but I can't talk to you through the wolf.
I was about to say it's super strange. None of this the spell doesn't make sense. It's just gibberish.
Yeah.
This isn't orcish spell casting.
There's
You
no
guys
orcs
should
here.
all come up here.
There's something that smells bad, but there's no orcs.
This looks like a spell, but it's not a spell.
Maybe they're just kind of dumb. Maybe it's a performance art.
Get up here and let's talk to him.
Okay. Guys,
Talk or talk?
we'll talk and then go to talk.
Alright, yeah, it works.
Do you guys have your gear?
I have like a knife or something. I never really gave Sobek much gear.
I would
got a
hope we
sword.
had stuff before we...
I
You
have a
probably carry
rapier.
your normal weapons around. I mean, it's easy enough. It's a there's a lot of orcs around. Sometimes they invade places.
No
had-
trouble's left.
I
had
think we
noticed.
got sent to Angate, right? And from our mission, and then we just went straight to celebrating. Then we never would have dropped our stuff off.
Yeah.
Going out with our boots on, if you will.
Yeah.
No one's gonna mess with us.
Or you could just not say that.
You somehow did get a good night's sleep, even though you were up.
Oh, look at me!
It was the
I
restoration.
know, she's so
Mm.
fresh.
I feel refreshed.
Uh-oh.
Alright.
Another one. Jeez.
We've lost the monk. We gotta go save him.
A strange feeling washes over the party as two of your members go still. The cleric is very perplexed by this, and he's like, I don't think we should approach them. That sounds frightening. We should just, go
Do a
around.
different thing. What are you even here for?
Look, I have cards.
Look, why don't you
Sometimes they
just
take
stay
me.
back and do your favorite thing? Watch.
Okay,
And not interfere.
The wolf can protect him.
okay,
Sure.
fine.
Would you feel better if I left my wolf with you?
yes, very.
Thanks.
And
It
you
makes my
guys-
combat easier.
You guys approach the orcish, the camp, the circle.
Yeah, can we do it like sneak it like?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
They're making a lot of noise. It makes it a lot easier.
Once my party is here, the Dom, while invisible, will step out and say to them, and they can understand me if they're people.
So far, they've just been doing the exact same thing the entire time as you've been waiting for them to come up. But you walk out and talk to them.
Yeah, I'm going to say, so, nice day for a summoning, isn't it?
All of them turn towards you and just scream, "Rah!" And then they begin chanting other bullshit words. And
Oh my god.
Is that a yes or a no?
as they're like stamping their staves on the ground, the lightning begins striking faster at the bonfire, and you see other orcish figures like rise up from the darkness of the trees behind them and start like moving and looking around and coming towards you guys.
Well, that's pretty spooky.
So it's
Can I
doing
trip one of them with my whip?
Yeah, the first of the uncoordinated horde comes out at you and just is sprinting full speed, like big scimitar in hand, and you
Yeah.
can like flash out with the whip because that is a somewhat ranged weapon.
I meant the warlock.
Oh, the warlock. Yeah, absolutely. Like before
With my
these things,
grapple hook whip, just like grab his foot and just thump him on the ground.
yeah, it kind
So
of
he
like
stops chanting.
kind of
is your hope,
gets
I'm
knocked
assuming.
over and kind of like bounces around. He's
Yeah.
still yelling and stamping on the imaginary ground.
Wait, hang on.
Hey, robot.
He's like I knocked over like a video game character, and I was just like awkwardly colliding
Yeah,
with the ground.
Are these halflings tinkerers?
In fact, as you do that, a little weird magical wisp comes out of the ground where he was standing and like kind of circles in the air before spiraling off in the distance.
Like
That's
a little
weird.
bit of error or what?
These things are charging you, but they're not moving as fast as they look they are.
Like they're like skiing. It's like the
You guys are like
animation
into a
is right.
Disneyland ride.
Aridin, let's just deal with this shit real fast.
President Lincoln's coming out next.
Well, they're not actually attacking. When did Lincoln become president? They're not actually attacking us, right? They're just charging us perpetually.
Do you guys need my help?
You guys stay there.
No, we're good. We're good. I mean, yeah, ready up with the warhammer to do like a great cleave and just.
Yeah, you just like
Like a slow, sad cleave.
yeah, exactly. You're just like waiting for him, and he's like coming really
Waiting-
slow.
Waiting for my Barry Bonds moment, man.
Yeah. Knocks him over.
I would like to. He's like running into the ground.
Weird.
Yeah, these guys all run at you, and you one by one just knock them over. It's not even a problem. They look scary. They make a lot of noise. Everything sounds and feels very real, but nothing's happening. They don't seem.
Can I go get struck by lightning?
Yeah.
No?
If you actually approach that and try to put your hand above it, you feel that there's no heat to the flame, and when lightning eventually strikes, it just goes around your hand. Doesn't touch it.
So I just like stand there.
Yeah, nothing's happening.
Too bad we lost our wizard, because then we could dismiss all this dumbness.
It does seem that way. As you say that, the cleric shouts, "Oh, wait! No, I know that one too! Card? No, it's not that. It's not that.
It's probably under D for dismiss dumbness.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, dismiss! Dispel! Oh, dispel! Yep.
Like I said, dismiss dumbness.
I like
It's
D
like
for
a-
dumbass.
Yeah, exactly. Dismiss the
He
dumbass.
draws like an arcane eye in the air, and then the eye closes, and the magic goes away.
Eh,
It doesn't do that. You would think it would because you've seen it do that before when Pharaoh would cast spells, but it doesn't. It's just like a weird little wispy energy from his fingers, and the whole thing flickers and kind of goes away for a second, and then it comes back, and it's still swirling storm, and then it goes away, and it's bright, clear skies. Comes back.
Sorry, I swear this
Side
never
effects.
happens to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
I'm gonna
No, it happens to a lot of casters. It's okay.
I'm gonna go talk to him. Like I'm gonna just casually walk away from whatever's happening there and walk back to the guy and the wolf and be like, Look, I'm not a magic expert. In fact, I'm a magic anti-magic expert. Could call
Yes.
me an anti-mage. I just saw your
Magic.
little wispy thing, and it kind of looks like a wispy thing I saw over there. Is
I
there
will
a
bring an end
connection?
to magic.
Where? Yeah, where do you get your
Wields
hoodoo?
magic
Little
items.
wispy business.
I
Hoodoo.
get it from Sovereign.
Okay, yeah, but like I seen Sovereign magic, and it doesn't look like that.
I know it doesn't. It's not supposed to.
Oh, so this is just like
I don't
right
know.
now.
Most of my spells are failing. I'm telling you, it's strange. The ones that have to do anything with divination are just not working, and the other ones work differently or not as well.
Okay, so do you think there's a chance that someone else is having that same problem, and that's why this is so lame?
Maybe, but only if they were a cleric of Sovereign or paladin, I suppose.
Maybe they are.
Um, I guess they could.
Maybe this was like an elaborate test
Listen,
to be like of my powers. I don't know.
of mine, of
No, no,
all of
no, no,
ours.
no, no, no. Of the other person who served Sovereign. They were like, what's some weird thing I could come up with to test my magic? And they came up with this.
Could be some strange test. If they were powerful enough, maybe they could face off against him themselves. But
I don't know.
then wouldn't they just fail? He knows they're going to do it if they're immortal.
It's possible.
Ah, if something is meddling with Sovereign, it must be a power great and unimaginable. It couldn't just be some powerful, experienced cleric. Sovereign gained immortality when he overcame the gods, and he was the only one who can do it. I don't know.
I think we should keep going towards
The
the
willow.
tree.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I keep an eye out. Nadam keeps an eye out for more things that aren't working right, like stepping on grass and it doesn't stay crunched, or
Any
like
weird mechanical birds?
Yeah, you guys advance and you're making good way. You do find one area where things are not as they seem, but it's very obvious to you now that you're looking out for it. You start noticing things wrong. There's a section where there's just like a strange pathway that is on a risen area that leads upwards and snakes towards the top of the hill. And as you like go up it, you can tell things are off. The shadows are on the wrong side. As you said, grass isn't being stepped on properly, and as the cleric dispels it, you see that it's just like a little cliff that drops off to nothing that you guys would have walked directly off. And instead, it's easy to just stay on the low ground and go around it.
This seems like a defense mechanism,
It's
right?
so-
Like this is just that was to scare people off. This is to just make people walk off a cliff.
it definitely looks strange to me.
Like, how do we know that the people of Weatherwillow didn't just do this to protect their Weatherwillow?
well, we'll just have to ask them.
And as you get towards the tree, it starts coming into more clear view, and it is a huge, giant willow, exactly as Madame saw. It's gnarled and twisting as it goes up, and the very top of it is hundreds of feet high, and it seems to just like branch out and droop across other trees and make this second canopy over everything.
Would you describe the willow as weathered?
It is definitely weathered. It is ancient and nasty and messed up, and it looks beautiful and natural. There's no town.
Just a big willow.
Yeah, as you come up to it, you finally see the first building, the only building, and it's just a small little shack with a big farm plot on the outside. Not a big farm plot, a small farm plot on the outside of it. And
Like someone just started playing Stardew Valley.
yeah, like exactly. They've not even gotten very far. There's tons of
That's
boulders
suspicious.
and logs everywhere else, and they don't have a good enough axe, so there's random big, thick tree stumps everywhere.
It's like week 4.
And in one section of it, there's this giant patch that's withered and almost blackened in its grayness, and everything's died in a
So
perfect
there's some kind of blight on that little area.
patch of the farm,
Oh,
not the
no.
entire farm.
It's Witherwillow.
But this
Maybe-
place is clearly abandoned. There's nobody inside the farm.
Oh,
It's not an illusion. You can tell. You like do some tests. He casts spell magic in case. Nothing wrong with it.
My Keebler elf sense is tingling. I'm gonna investigate that giant tree.
Yeah, as you go up to the giant tree and get to the base, it just towers above you and it's awe-inspiring. But you see there's like the dirt path you guys are still on does lead a little bit around it, and you go about like maybe a quarter circle around the tree, which is a few 100 feet. It's a big place, and you find a little like stony entrance into the tree itself. Just just a nice little archway, and leading up to it on the path is this like second wooden archway with like a little miniature tunnel that goes through. That's not quite tall enough for most of you guys. It's like 4 or 5 feet tall, and inside of it you can see there's all these like sticky outy pokey spears. There's some weird stuff on the ground that looks like leaves, and there's all these other like hanging things, giant boulders that look like they swing. They're very obvious traps, and this thing is not blocking the entrance into the tree. It is just standalone on the path.
Okay.
Well, they made an effort.
To a sign much less ornately than the already not ornate sign from the shrine. This way.
Well, I feel pretty secure, but Silric, you want to check for traps?
Yeah, that's.
Guess this is like the
Do
decoy
that.
trap, and there's actually a good trap ahead.
You find traps.
I
You
did
wanna
find
make-
traps. I mean, if I found them, there's not much need to make the check. Yes.
Make the check.
You don't need to. Certainly, you
They're
definitely
delicious dice rolling.
Yeah. I just keep having to type
crunchy.
things out. I love crunch.
Well, a good rogue always knows one thing, and that's to look up. And so you do, outside of the trap area. And
Okay.
up in the branches, you see a couple little figures up there, maybe 20, 30 feet up, right above the area that you would pass around this tunnel on both sides.
What do they look like?
They
They cute?
are pretty hard to see through the leaves, but they are small, hunched forms that are grabbing onto the branches in front of them. They have strange, misshapen faces. Each one looks a little bit different, and actually, now that you notice them, you can hear them very faintly whispering to each other. And one points down at you.
Hello.
Grab them! And all of them jump down on top of you.
Hashtag grapple.
As these little figures jump down, all of you like look up unexpectedly and see them jump down, and you're surprised to see a bunch of little normal humanoid figures. It looks like they're small children, only their faces are wrong. They have strange looking heads, and one of them has like a let me see, what was it? One of them has a goblin face, one has a kobold face, and the other one has a weird unknown face, but it looks like an insect or a spider or something with weird noses.
So they look like human children, but they have freaky faces.
Yeah, they're a little bit smaller than human children.
Brandon, why did you come up with shit like this before I go to bed? Why?
It's just their intimidate people masks.
Now I'm gonna have creepy dreams about spider children. Thanks.
And you're definitely prepared for this, Silric, and because you yelled hi, so everybody looked up. Actually, everybody prepared for this. So you see them coming down at you, like a few of them holding clubs, and one of them holding like a net, and he's about to fall on Silric. What does everybody do?
Wait, we're
roll.
friends with Burnham.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Baron?
dodge out of the way of the net.
Nice. Take a deck save. And you
Can
yell-
I dodge into the way of the net?
Yeah.
That's
Great.
not typically how the thing is done.
No, because you go out, then I go in, and I'll be like, "See, I'm nice. I'm getting in your trap, and we're just here to look for Burnham."
So they drop down. Silric dodges. Theo anti-dodges. Eridan yells, "We're with Burnham!" And the net comes down on Theoden, and like the two of them begin wrapping up Theoden, like, "We gotta, Burnham? You're with Burnham?"
Yeah.
They rip off these masks that they're wearing, which you can see more clearly now that everybody's not frantic and not trying to kill them. And you can see these are just small children. Two of them are halfling, and one of them is gnomish, seemingly. They're very, very, very small. This net was only covering like your shoulder and kind of your head.
Probably. That's why I thought it'd be funny.
It only comes down to his waist.
Yeah, and the baton the other one was carrying was like kind of light and springy, not so much hard and hitty.
It's just a stick.
I'm gonna say your masks are very scary.
What are you doing here?
We're
Looking for Burnham.
True.
We think he might be in trouble.
Why would he be in trouble?
Well, he was helping us do some crazy magic stuff, and it went really well, and we all finished, and we got rid of some bad guys, and everything was good, and then he like disappeared. It was weird.
Yeah, but he just showed up.
Oh, he's here?
Yeah. It wasn't too long.
Oh, well then maybe that's where he ended up when he disappeared, because we disappeared to somewhere else. So
Could we speak with him?
I don't know. Do we still need to tell the council that they're invaders? No.
no. We're visitors.
They're visitors.
Actually,
yeah. See.
Yeah,
They want
actually,
to
we're royal visitors. We're actually kings.
They are already like holding you guys by the hands and bringing you inside.
Oh, great, good, amazing.
Yeah, as you're explaining all this, kings. Oh, I want to be a king. And as you guys get in, you go through this short tunnel. You enter into the center of this big tree, and you see around you a weird little village. It's mostly dug into the side of the tree trunk. Above you, there's a clear opening, like a big sunroof, basically, that lets light into it. So it's all very nice and well lit.
It's a big hollow tree.
A big hollow tree. It looks like a nice little clearing. Like, honestly, that's what it looks like more than even a village. There's not too many buildings in the actual center of the village, even though there's a big open space. Mostly it's just grass, a few little roads. What you see and you like notice immediately is there's one large house that's more tall than it is wide. That looks the most important place. It has like nice ornate carpentry to it. And then a few other small buildings, which are each pretty plain, are made of wood, thatch roofs. They have like little decorations around them. They look like they might be shops or something like that. One of them has like a sign hanging in front of it. The other one has a giant, weird, lopsided cauldron on its roof for some reason. And in the very center, there's just a big well, just a big stone well.
Nice.
A bunch of the like side of the it's not a cavern. The side of the hollow have these holes that look like they go inside, but you didn't see anything on the outside, so they must just be like chambers. And as the children lead you in, you see that there's a little small bustle of people going back and forth. And it's mostly a large group of shorter races. You noticed you had to hunch a little bit to get in here, just like their little fake trap room was
we're
short.
probably all like this.
One of us is gonna hit the chandelier like Gandalf. Go. Oh.
Whoa! Yeah,
I hope it's you, dude.
It's not
The dog's like 7 feet tall, so it's gonna be the dog.
That's true.
Just tea, thank you.
And as you get a little bit in, clearly people are starting to notice you. Oh, there's visitors. Oh, I haven't had visitors in a long time. People start kind of like moving upwards and looking at you from the distance. Oh, where are they going? But nobody's really approaching you too much as they're leading you in. They're asking you all kinds of questions, just what your names are, where you're from, what's going on.
We talk all about Red Lark and blacksmithing and the Elders Brothers and how they've probably heard of us.
I never heard no Elders Brothers.
Well, we're keeping it classic, so...
If you're a king, have you met our queen?
Probably, yeah. I meet a lot of queens, yeah.
The kind queen, Queen Thara.
I don't believe we've had the pleasure.
Yeah, no, king.
Unless she was that statue outside.
Statue? Oh no, that's not the queen.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure we just need a reintroduction. I'm sure she's been to one of our many gatherings.
You are sure she has at some point.
We've been kings like less than a week.
Yeah, a few months. But...
She is not. That's what I thought. Okay, cool. So yeah, she is. You've had contact with her. You have not actually met her. She has not left her realm. But
she sent you like a way to go on the whole king thing card.
Pretty much, yeah. A very diplomatic letter.
Happy King-iversary.
Happy first king anniversary, and it was signed with what is obviously a stamp.
She seems very happy that trade will resume now that the kingdoms are getting along a little bit better, or at least yours and hers. either way, they bring you deeper into the village, and they
We're
just
down to 2 players.
no, this is so sad.
You and I can do it, Alex. We can take them all on. Stop.
They keep on telling you just like all these questions, and they're asking you what you're looking for other than Barum, and they seem to like be talking amongst themselves about how to go about it. They're like, well, we can't bring him to Barnum's house. Then no one's supposed to go to Barnum's house. That's okay. We bring him into the village. Someone will help him. As they bring you deeper in, you see a small gathering of people that seem to look a little bit more important. Certainly find themselves more important. One of them is this small halfling with this giant mustache that curls in front of his eyes, and he keeps pushing it out of the way and like looking at you all sideways. He has a big hat and a cane. He's very old. One of them is a little gnome, weird-looking fellow with bright clothing on, all these fancy-looking like stripes and dots that are completely clashing all over. He has like a monocle that he keeps on dropping and putting up. Weird people. They're like hands on the hips looking at you like, huh. And as the kids bring you forward, one of them calls out and says, "Hail, strangers! How do you do? It's a long time since we've had visitors. What brings you here?"
How long? Maybe 27 years?
No, not that long. I mean, that's a long time.
Yes, we're friends of Burnham Shortlip. We're here to check on him. We've had some troubling news.
Friends of Burnham? He just got back. Already looking for him, eh?
Well, he
Well-
was with us and we got separated.
It's sort of a whirlwind thing with us.
Well, of course, you can go to his house. We can direct you. May I ask why you have business here?
Troubling prophetic visions.
Prophetic. He just got here.
Yeah, they're prophetic. They're not.
I can explain everything. Listen, the Church of Cyprus is failing us in the
You
cause.
are literally
I
the
just-
worst person to explain anything. Please be quiet.
I just put like my big dragon claw on top of his head and just like pet it reassuringly, like you might with a cat or a small child.
Burnham, he just got here.
When did
Mr.
Burnham get here?
He just got here.
When?
Just now.
I'm pretty sure he just got here. Mr. Tuck, they're kings. They said they're kings.
This one is, and I point at Theoden.
Technically not a king. Equal rank. Technically.
They
not.
lied.
Say that, but not a king.
Totally king. Good.
King of what?
Oh, Azamar.
The
Right,
mole
right,
people.
No,
right,
it's not Azamar.
All of
What are we king of?
all the
I don't know what
kings.
you're king of.
All the new kings sprouting up here and there. All of you trying to claim your territory. Don't be coming to Fensmore with that. You understand?
I don't claim any territory. I just got hired to defend some
hey.
territory by some other people, but it's not this territory or anywhere near this territory.
Maybe you should marry their queen.
I'm married already.
He was already married.
That causes a stir in all
In
of the
a
army.
different country, so it doesn't count.
Jake, how's your cannon doing?
You can be married to different people in different countries. That's just science.
Yeah.
So, someone's ignited it. We're firing cannonballs out now.
Cannonballs.
Bobby has Jake's cannon tied up under the desk, and he's just kicking it continuously.
I won't lie. His session is the one I'm most nervous for.
What?
Cannon-wise.
No!
Understand why.
He's gonna do everything in his powers to kill the Eldritch Brothers.
They
That was an evil laugh.
That was
I'm
quite an
pretty sure.
evil laugh.
I
as,
haven't
as,
thought about that. But I have now.
as the
Would you take us to Burnham's home?
yeah, I could take you to his home.
I understand he just got here.
We will find out where he is and see if he wishes for you to go in. How about that?
All right.
How
Those
many
you
places
guys-
could he be? He just got here.
He's a reclusive man. He stays inside his home. He mostly tends to the guardianship of the village. I'm sure you saw
That's
plenty
not-
of it coming in.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, those were Burnham's constructs.
Yeah.
That makes
Anyway.
sense.
We mostly leave the wizards alone. We don't really dabble too much in that. That's why the lady sent them to us. and they are good people, but they like their privacy. This way. And as he leads you through the field, like you hear all the crowd of people whispering, like, "Do you think they'll marry the queen? They could."
Oh my god! Actually, Aridin, you're not married, so you could totally marry the queen.
She hasn't taken suitors in 100 years. She's not going to start now.
She hasn't taken suitors in 100 years. Sounds like it's open territory, man.
It's like she's a lot older than me.
She's
Sounds
gonna
like you
finish
could get
that
some
shroud
experience.
any day now.
That's great
What are
for
the
you.
chances she's even half my height?
Maybe if they marry the queen, they could help the village. The strange things. Yeah, help the village. Yeah. Tuck. What is it? Please, I am the oldest one here. Call me by my proper title, Mr. Greenbottom. Yes, thank you. Could they help us with some of our problems? They say they're kings. Don't kings and adventurers go around helping? They're here to speak to Baron. I know, but there's other things. I'll let them know after their endeavors.
I'm really enjoying the session of just letting Brandon talk to him.
When Brendan, I like that when your earphones jiggle. I am imagining that Mr. Tuck Greenbottom has huge earlobes.
Oh yeah. They're just like down here.
Well, he is 11-1,
Yeah. As he brings you over, you guys find yourselves going towards this different hut from the rest of them. It's not burrowed into the tree, rather it's dug into a mound of earth that kind of goes up against the tree. There's kind of a diagonal door, which is sealed firmly shut, and a chimney rising up in the back. He walks up to it and he says, "Well, here we are. We'll see if you're allowed in." Bang, bang, bang with his cane. No answer, of course. I told you, there's something going on. He's endangered. He's not just going to be lying around in his bed. Shut up. Bang, bang,
Hey.
bang.
Just be patient. We just got here.
Bang, bang, bang. I don't know about you, but I'm going to keep trying this until he comes out. Bang, 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 bang.
This is
I would just like to go
Baron,
inside.
Yeah.
are you within range?
No answer.
Okay.
Actually, weird.
Tom just opens the door.
yeah.
No, yeah, nothing. You just open the door. Hey, he demands privacy. You're not supposed. Well, I guess he'll deal with you. He's capable. Go in if you want. It's not my problem. I'm done dealing with wizards popping in and out. All these people just go back and forth. Damn magic water and stupid frigging potions and chemical ingredients. Why can't they visit the alchemist like the rest of them? And he marches off.
Thank you, Master Greenbottom.
Come back when you're ready to help us out a little bit. Walks away. Stairs lead down into Barnum's house, and you go down and find a very small little hovel. It's messy, it's dusty, it's dirty. There's bookshelves with things scattered all about, little alchemical pieces, tinkering tools. There's a desk full of scrolls and books and weird items, and there's a small little cot. Now, there is someone in here, but it's not Burnham. Instead of
David
Burnham,
Cronenberg, Burnham fetus?
What's that weird fetus in the bathroom long hallway game that just came out recently?
No, it's Eraserhead. It's the Eraserhead baby.
It's not that. Instead, in the cot,
Thank God.
I don't want to play a David Lynch D&D game.
that would be hard.
Now I want to play a David Lynch D&D game.
There is a halfling in the bed who is
Burnham got smaller.
yeah, yeah, really, and
Wish takes it out of you.
and female. This woman has bright blonde hair that goes down to about her shoulders on one side, and she is lying in the bed, covered by the blankets, like kind of her lips twitching as she mutters to herself. Every once in a while, she jerks her head back and forth a tiny bit, but she is completely out.
Miss. Excuse
No
me,
response.
miss. Nothing?
Nothing.
Is her soul in her body?
Her soul.
Oh, what's she muttering?
She's muttering. Actually, yeah. If you listen to her, she's muttering actual intelligible stuff, not random gibberish. She's talking about it is intelligible, but it's not completely full sentences. She's speaking of the eye, and it looked at her, and she knows it, and Burnham shouldn't have come. If you keep on listening, you hear other things about like the books and the spells, and maybe he's done, but it's all muddled together and mixed.
Oh. I tell them she's muttering something about an eye, which worries me because Burnham has an elemental weapon that is connected to the elemental eye Vizerin tried to use to destroy the material plane or something along those lines.
Was it an eye? What was it?
The elder elemental evil eye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
When
good
did
memory, Nadam. You weren't even there.
Listen, I take notes on all the crap you people say. It keeps being important.
I guess
definitely.
I'll search the house.
Yeah, you guys can look around for sure. You guys can all give me an investigation roll if you want. Immediately, without like having to search at all, what you find is that there's there's this desk of his which has all this stuff scattered around, and it's obvious that like it has been moved around recently. It is not like all dusty all over. There's a big space where some book or something was sitting that is now free of dust, where the stuff around it is dusty. And there are little scraps of spells and rituals on the side. It seems that he was working, since you got this is the investigation. Bobby, as you look at the information, you know enough to be able to tell that he was doing some sort of binding spell. He had some binding plan or ritual set up that looked very, very complex. Not a normal spell. It looked like the kind of thing that you'd need multiple mages for. You'd need like a circle. You'd need proper magical gear. Everything that works. Lincoln, looking around the shelves, you don't find anything unusual really in the books you find. But what you notice is that there's bunch of like he has all these books on spells and various meta magical like arcana, and some of the like serialized spell books that are like in order and kept actually kind of neat. There's a few just missing. They're not here, and they're not anywhere in this house as far as you can tell.
Strange.
You also find Bobby, you find a diagram for this weird magical capsule. This iron capsule with runes all over it and a diamond encrusted stopper. Unclear what exactly.
Have we seen any indication that like the Weatherwillow would have the resources for this kind of spell? It seems like it wouldn't, but
It did seem semi-permanent.
You have not seen any evidence of any like magical supply for that kind of thing.
Okay.
There's not many mages here, as they said. The wizards keep to themselves, but they did say wizards.
Yeah.
I guess we should go talk to the wizards then. That would be my next bet.
I mean, someone must have taught Burnham what he knows, right?
Maybe?
As you guys are looking to like go back up the stairs, you hear like a little rustling in a jar by the door.
Is it Scratch?
As you
Shrimp? Scoop?
Stash.
punches the like
Think.
little lid off. The monkey thing. It like pops his head out, looking at all of you.
It's that creepy little thing that lives in his pants or whatever.
I believe it's in his bag of holding, but sure.
It runs all up to you, Nadam, and like climbs onto your arm and starts like tugging you over towards one side of the room.
I definitely follow it.
All right, and as you like follow, it seems to want you to go back towards the halfling on the cot.
I do.
Cleric Sophorus is like, where is it bringing us? Is this a clue? One sec. Flip. These don't mean anything in this order. As you look at her,
Yahtzee.
Fellas, all reds.
Examining her, you can tell that she is in a stable condition. She doesn't seem like injured. Um, you would guess that if something is wrong with her, it is either psychological or magical. But you do like you do first just like normal stuff, and then Stash actually jumps down and like starts trying to paw at where her arm is, and pulling back the blanket, you see that she's holding something in her hand. This crystal sphere, and in fact, you guys might recognize it because Burnham found it just a few dozen hours ago on a little pocket plane. It
Oh,
was
is it his crystal
This is
ball?
crystal ball. Yeah. It looks mostly the same, except as you look into it, it seems like the images that are usually just foggy in a normal crystal ball are instead ripply and make it look like the surface is changing. But it's clearly staying spherical in her hand. It reminds you of the thing you saw in the vision very strongly.
So, I hate to drop this class feature on you, but the Dom can astral project.
Now you know how I feel.
I'm seeing thinking, hey, I have lesser restoration. That might be useful.
What precisely does astral projection mean in this
It's
case?
really vague. I can, the thing that happens in Doctor Strange.
Where she leaves her body.
I can just leave my body,
You go into spirit world.
and I can go into the astral plane and a plane of pure thought and intention, and then just go wherever I want.
That's I mean the astral. If it's the astral plane, that's also where Dirk Courage hangs out. So
It's true.
An awesome rule for a new game would be no monks.
I'm strongly considering it.
I
You know what
like
the best part is, you guys? I chose the worst monk archetype.
So yeah, you want to astral project? You tell your buddies, hang on, guys, I gotta meditate.
I sort of look at the crystal ball, and I think of Burnham in that weird extra dimensional space, and I say, I have a plan. I'm gonna go find Burnham. Give me some more of his things. And I take like the books and I put them around me, and I have Stash, and sort of sits down and holds the sword in his lap, and like he focuses, and that blue smoke you see happen sometimes when he does magic comes off of him, and then that's all you guys see, and I'm astral projecting and looking for Burnham.
Perfect. So is the astral plane a like parallel plane, or is it a completely its own plane? Just
It's like the mirror dimension, like it's a parallel
like
plane.
ethereal
but-
plane in Pathfinder. Is that
So
right?
the astral plane is the space between the planes.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little funky.
Okay, that's
I
perfect.
like to think of it as like the mirror dimension in Doctor Strange,
Mhm.
where
You
like
can,
stuff is wonky and like
pull
distance doesn't make
aside
sense.
curtains and look into an area of the material plane from the astral plane. But if you put it back and move, you're not going to be moving like you would in the material plane. Basically.
Yeah, and it's all about like focus and thought, and like
It's
I'm
like
a monk.
like moving in a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all metaphorical. It's not physical form. Okay, cool. So
Like I have all the things so I can like think about Burnham and like use his stuff to find him.
It's
Right.
metaphysical.
So you enter this plane of thought and of feeling, and you go in fully with the intention and the inclination to try to find Burnham by sensing him with this thought idea, with these emotional responses and stuff. And you find yourself in what feels like a cage. There's no such thing in this plane because you're not physically bound by anything, but you can tell that you're only extending outwards a very short distance, like metaphysical distance away from you. You're not able to get what you would normally. You've done this before, right? This is not your first time.
I think I've probably practiced this at least once.
Yeah, so you've practiced this in sanctuaries and a few times in public to just get a feel for it. In sanctuaries, you're very familiar. You know, every vibration in the harmony of the air and how that feels in this plane, and you know how to like sense what's going on around you in the material. And in public, it's much less so, but you can still try to piece together what's going on from what's around you. Here, you can't do that at all. You don't feel your friends. You don't feel the room around you. You can't even focus on anything and try to look. In fact, when you do that, it seems that everything pulls away instead. And when you try to turn back to see if anything else is around and metaphorically look behind you. Instead, you are faced with that shifting strangeness, that magical energy that is inside that crystal sphere you're looking at. And from this, however, in this plane, begin to form legible writing. And it begins to form words. And even though you can read them, you can't understand them. But you feel
Like
them.
it just slides off my mind.
Yeah, exactly. But not away. Just they're not words you would say. They are astral plane words. They're burned into your memory, certainly, but they're not things that you would know how to derive meaning from. What it seems to be like compelling you to think is that this force, this thing, is moving outwards, and it is grabbing anything that it can find that it like has this same strange sense of this this implied sense of what's around it. It's grabbing at little things and trying to take them in. And as you turn towards it, you feel it grab towards you.
Uh-oh.
It is a cold and strange alien touch, but it is not necessarily painful. Do you try to recoil from it, or do you kind of let it do its thing?
I'm pretty confident I can't be killed, so while astral projecting.
That's
But
mostly true.
I mean, it doesn't have a spooky
I could slit your
silver
throat
sword,
right now.
So I want to investigate. I'm interested.
Yeah, it probes towards you and like tries to feel around at your emotion, and you sense like your own feelings kind of going into it because you feel them from it. But
I center myself
yeah,
and
and
commune with this entity.
and you manage to. You again, it's not words, but you get feelings from it. And it seems strangely inviting. It's not. It's definitely not harming you or trying to. It's just kind of listening and trying to figure out what you are and who you are. It takes special note to like point your attention towards the thing that you are physically holding, and suddenly you can glimpse that like weird way into the
Stench?
material plane. No, not yeah, stench. The crystal ball.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, it lets you look at that, and it seems to give some importance to this thing. You're not sure exactly what it wants, but it definitely wants you to pay attention to that thing. From that, it kind of releases its grip and backs off, and it just conveys to you, you're done here.
And I'm still sort of trapped in this little magical eddy.
Yeah, exactly. It's isolated from the rest of what's around it.
All right.
And yeah, you come back to the material plane thinking that you've gotten this ball. You don't need anything else, and you don't know exactly what to do with it. But there's not much more for you in here.
That was very strange. Normally I can see much further, but I think this was holding us here. I was stuck in some kind of eddy, some dead end. It's
How
hard to
long?
explain.
How long was he out for?
30 years.
Our time. Like, how long does astral projecting, like, was that like an instant? Was
Time,
time
I don't
weird?
know.
time travels absolutely differently in the astral plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was it from our point of view?
Probably a few minutes, not that long.
Okay.
Maybe
I
5.
wanted to spend that time, like, trying to heal that lady. Whatever,
Yeah.
like, weird way I can get less restoration, or maybe, or...
The cleric keeps on like giving you bad pointers. That he's like, oh, you have to connect those ones. Usually, you spell weave them together. I can give you the incantation. It hasn't been working.
What are you talking about, dude? I just, like, think it, and my god does it. What do you do?
You don't have to use the right. Don't.
Nah.
Why are your religions so?
I mean, sometimes
loose?
I have to hit things, but not when I'm healing people.
Well, fine.
Well, I've never tried it. I suppose lay on hands could be more forceful.
You're definitely like doing everything you can, and she's fine, just not awake. Nadam, when you come out, though,
Shit your pants.
Oh,
you can't control both. You know, it's astral body or real body.
Oh.
I can poop myself in the astral plane, or I can poop myself in real life.
I know which one I'd prefer.
Not asking you.
maybe that'll wake her up.
Aww.
Sorry, continue.
No worries. As you come out, the form of this woman, like suddenly it begins breathing smoother. She's not awake, but she is not muttering to herself anymore. She seems more relaxed, and sort of at peace. And from behind you guys, you hear, "Whoa!" The kid is looking inside. The little gnomish kid, and he's just like, "You just healed her with your mind. You guys tried to do magic and it didn't work. Can you? Do you think you can do that to the shops? You think you can heal them with your mind?
The shops?
The who?
We can certainly try.
Weird stuff is happening.
We've noticed.
Yeah, yeah. The olderest guy doesn't like talking about it, but it's pretty important.
Show us.
All right, come on, this way. Come here. And he like springs out and he's like sprinting across the field, bringing you back to the center. And as you get towards the center of town, like that crystal ball is like pulsing. Like you can see the images inside of it, like kind of giving an excited little wave. And it seems to think you're making, or it seems to convey that you're making progress. The center of town has, as I said, just a few buildings dotted around, and you see in the middle that the that elder guy, Tuck. He's sort of just like, yeah, Greenbottom, exactly, Mr. Greenbottom. He's
Mr. Greenbottom.
discussing things with all those small crowds of people, and you can hear him. He's mostly just like reassuring them. It doesn't seem like he's like a leader. He's just an old dude who lives
He's the
here.
oldest.
Yeah, he's the oldest.
It's respected around here.
Yeah, and as the kids are bringing you close, they're like, we haven't had anybody like unconscious like Krolia over there, but there's strange things going on. The shroomery, all the ale was different. They said all the adults said that things tasted older and dirtier and better and but then they all got kind of tummy aches and we're just not sure what's going on. The farm died. Everything's wrong. The carpenter can bend all his wood, but he can't stop it from being bent. Please, could you do your mind thing over there in one of those shops? He points you to, as he said, a thing which is labeled the shroomery. An obvious carpenter's hut with much better carpentry for all of its little pieces than any of the other buildings other than the giant house. And then lastly, there's what was the other one? And then there's just that shop with the cauldron on the top.
Do I detect any desecrated ground within 60 feet?
Desecrated ground within 60 feet. Do you just detect that automatically, or do you have to cast a spell?
Yes. Well, I'm doing it for the next
It's
6
like
seconds.
Detect evil, basically.
Divine sense. Just
Yeah.
activate it.
Yeah, you do actually.
Ooh, I know the location of it.
Not at any of those shops, though.
Where is it?
Beneath your feet.
Oh.
Spookaloo? It's pretty spoopy.
Tuck comes back and he's like, well, now that you all had your fill of sightseeing and talked to Barnum, I suppose you're ready to do some chores, right?
Chores?
Yeah,
Sure.
we'll start
Aaron
with
wasn't
the.
there.
We need the chores done. We need the alchemist has problems with his potions. They're mixing on their own. The carpenter needs you to disenchant his shop and the did you say Barnum wasn't there?
Aaron was not there. He is not just back. Perhaps he just left.
Well, where is it?
We don't know.
didn't find
he
him.
wasn't there.
Nobody saw him leave.
And a very powerful piece of magic could not find him.
He's been back 12 hours. He didn't leave.
There's
not in
also a
there.
person in a sort of coma in his bed.
Who's in a coma?
Well, she
Blonde
didn't
halfling
give her
woman?
name.
No, the
What?
kid knew the name.
Yeah, the kid did know the name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Krolia.
Oh, that's
Krolia,
right.
how? Is she okay?
She seems to be
Coma.
sleeping.
She's. That's not good. You know, it's been a while since I've seen Sam. Also, he's been acting strange too, muttering back and forth from Burnham's hut to the well. Said he was collecting magic water when I asked him, and then didn't want to speak to me anymore.
It's very strange.
Well, do you listen? Everything that's been going on around here seems magically influenced, and I don't like it. We like our magic nice and natural around here, and this seems anything but. So, what are you going to do about it? You all come into our home, and you spread your strange magics, and things go wrong.
I have a question.
Mhm.
A D&D question. Does holy water fix desecrated ground?
I have no idea.
Don't think so.
Holy water deals a bunch of damage to demonic stuff.
Okay.
Holy water might be
I don't know how to
component.
fix desecrated ground.
Consecrate.
Oh, I don't have that.
Yeah, it's a specific spell. It might need holy water. I don't know. And as you guys are talking to him, you are seeing once again that this crystal ball is pulsing rapidly. In fact,
Does it
Eridan, as
pulse
you're
more as I get close to something?
are you following? Well, where are you going? Eridan's looking around for the desecrated ground.
I think I have the crystal ball.
Yeah, you do.
Does it get pulse more as I get close to like one of the shops that are all spooky?
Kind of equal to all of the shops.
If I lower it closer to the ground, does it get spookier?
Yeah.
Are there tunnels underneath Weatherwillow?
No tunnels from us. I mean, the houses go a few feet down sometimes. People have basements. Nothing real. The roots down there are constantly breaking anything down. You don't want to dig tunnels underneath a tree. You want to go way deep if you do. And this thing has deep roots.
Is that kid still here?
Yeah, he's still here.
I say.
My name's Teak.
Is that true?
I have a name.
What?
My name's Teak.
Teak, is that true? Because this seems like the place that would have fun little tunnels beneath the town that you and your friends would use to sneak around.
Sometimes we tried to fit into the mole tunnels, but they didn't work.
Huh.
Too small.
Is there a well?
Yeah, there's a well.
You mentioned the well, yeah. Someone was gathering magic water. Sam was gathering magic water from the well.
Let's go check out that well.
That is deeply suspicious.
If you guys go over to check out the well, the Tuck is still muttering to himself and trying to piece this all together and like complaining about the various magical problems, and he's like, "Damn dream sleeps." It's probably just the druids. But as you guys approach the well, you look down into the well. The orb is pulsing rapidly now, just going off. It is.
It's like just Darude Sandstorm.
Yeah.
My first ever game I played with you guys, my character was introduced as an angry, vibrating soul in a gem, and now I'm holding an angry, vibrating gem.
That's true.
Guess owner.
As you guys are all crowded around,
it was the DM of that game too.
Peering down into the well, you just see it. It goes dark. It's a pretty deep well. It's very, very full. It's not like one of those ones where you drag the pail down into the bottom. It's just full to the brim. It's not like you don't know what's feeding it and what keeps it that full, but that's how it is.
Does weird dude show up?
Actually, a different weird dude shows up. As you guys are looking down in the well, you hear a voice behind you. Oh yeah, it's a weird one, ain't it? Look back and you see this old halfling. Not old. I'm sorry, he's not old. He's like middle, not even middle-aged. Normal adult halfling. He's got this big scraggly beard that goes down to about here. And he's holding all these mugs in his hands, full of this sloshy brown liquid that's like kind of chunky and almost gray at parts. It's always look weird down there. It's not to worry about. It's just how it works. Anyone want some of this?
What is it?
True
No.
mail? Oh, come
No,
on.
thank
Can't
you.
come to
No,
Weatherwillow
thank
and not
you.
try the shoe mail. Every visitor for the last 30 years has tried the shoe mail.
We heard
27
something
years.
happened to it.
Well, only once, I mean. And it got better. It's just,
Did it?
don't drink as much.
Hmm.
Oh,
The
so
whole point of the stuff is it doesn't give you a hangover or anything.
I'll try it.
There you
I
go.
lost Theo. He went somewhere, but I'm sure he would be
It's
upset if no one
definitely
tried it.
a mug of shroom juice.
Cool.
How deep is this well?
Oh, goes down really far beneath the roots. Some underground spring or something, I think. It's been filled since I got here.
I think I'm going to jump in.
You're gonna
You
jump
do
in?
that.
With the crystal
Like,
ball, it
no,
wants to
come
go
on.
down the well, right?
I'm not going to pour.
So the crystal ball wants to go down the well, right?
Very.
Oh, I'm going in the well then.
How about we just take a rope and we all go? I mean, you can scout if you want, but
Nadam wait for that, or does Nadam jump in?
I'm going to go check it out first.
Okay.
It's
The dock
pretty
goes
full, right?
well.
Like so.
Yeah, it's pretty full.
I'm sure I stink.
You can definitely swim back up. It's also very deep though. Eridan, you begin like tying a rope, and then he just splashes in. Silric probably likes the rope idea better.
I'm a rope fan.
Yeah.
same.
And as Nadam goes in, Nadam, you hold your breath and swim deep, and you start going down, and feels weird. The orb is flashy and excited, and you're just not getting tired of swimming, not running out of breath.
This is a terrible sign.
It doesn't feel like you need to go back up.
This is very bad.
As you're going down, it's getting darker though.
But the orb glows.
The orb glows. You keep going.
I should wait for my friends, but I don't. I keep
Just because
going.
you don't feel like you're passing out doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to pass out.
As you keep on going down the
I'm
wall,
I'm gonna
with this.
pull a classic sharp maneuver, and I'm gonna make a bad decision that's gonna be more fun.
as you go down, you get, you're a monk, you know your limits.
Yeah.
Like it should be a good time to go back up right now. You're getting close to where it's dangerous to be down this deep, but you're just not feeling like you need to take a breath. You intellectually know this is not normal.
Magic's weird. Let's do this.
All right, cool. And you keep going down, the darkness impedes on your vision from the sides. It seems to like intrude on the glow of even the orb. And as you get deeper, you begin to hear noises, faint mutterings and chatter. You hear an occasional snapping of teeth clashing together, and the voices sound inhuman and not humanoid, in fact.
Oh, this is even worse than I ever expected.
The darkness is now to the point that it's hard to see the orb in front of you, and it's like right in front of you. You can see it pulsing, like ever faster, like a heartbeat, getting excited, but you can't see anything else. There's no walls. You're just in a swimming void. You're not even quite certain. Actually, I shouldn't do that. Give me a wisdom save. Give me the Constitution. I can't remember. Give me a D20.
Which way is up?
23 for my wisdom save.
23 for the wisdom save. That's definitely going to pass whether or not it's a Constitution save, so it doesn't matter. You feel these tendrils of sound like pierce your eardrums and get inside your head. You can't feel anything around you with your arms as you like wave them around, try to ward off this stuff, but you can feel it getting inside of you. The chattering and gibbering is loud and obnoxious. It like makes it hard to focus. You begin twirling around and trying to see if something's near you because of the darkness, but there's nothing there. You manage to keep your bearings, and you still know the way back. Again, do you keep going? Everybody else upstairs, actually, just real quick, he's been down there like 5 minutes.
I'm going to go back and warn my buddies because I went down here to see what was up.
I actually think that Theo would be like, I'm not going to let Nadam have all the fun and like want to jump in himself.
That's
Yeah.
fair. I
In
am
the first
absolutely
minute.
tying the rope to Theo's foot.
Yeah. Get it on the foot. Come on. You got to go faster. Splash. Yeah. Theo heads down after Nadam and also needs to take a save as it enters the dark zone because neither does Theo need to breathe.
Theo chooses to succeed.
Oh, okay, I was gonna roll it, but all right.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, it is wisdom.
Theo is a legendary creature right now.
Theo knows the way back too, and as he's going down, he feels something in the darkness passing by him.
Is it dragon shaped?
A scaly.
The scaling fish man.
Can't see it though.
Does Nadam feel anything?
Dom feels something too, yeah.
Does it feel like a squishy, muscular humanoid?
As this shattering has gotten loud, you feel something snaky and not snaky, sorry, that's you, slimy and wet go by you on your side.
Theo
Feels
just
like a
start
human.
punching.
Yeah.
Nadam blocks effortlessly.
Yeah, you have you have a sense that you feel punches coming and you just block everything. It doesn't feel like the same tone as this weird chattering. Plus the chattering is starting to secede as you go upwards.
I try to grab Theo's hand and like put it on my face, like on my muzzle.
Oh, there you are, punch.
Oh! No. I think
no,
Theo would recognize
dragon
Nadam's
friend.
face.
Yeah, and you guys see each other and like forgetting yourselves due to this no need of breathing, call out, "Oh!" and you hear one another. Underwater.
Oh, that's weird.
It is weird.
Wait, can I?
Where's everyone else? Like in Galaxy Quest. Seems okay.
As Theo, just a big old breath.
Theo gives the 2 tugs, which means come on down.
Doesn't 2 tugs usually mean pull me back?
3 tugs then.
What would you like to do based on the 2 tugs?
Just a bunch of tugs and some wiggles, and then nothing, and then more tugs.
Morse code
I
that
don't
says,
know. We'll tie the
"It's
rope off."
fine, come on down, like 3 minutes later.
Yeah, we'll tie the rope off. He could always pull himself back if he needed to, and we'll go in.
All
right.
Swan dive.
Irina, you should stay here, watch over the cleric guy. Yeah, bye.
Yeah, you guys are crazy.
The cleric is like, "Oh no, I don't want to wait. I must see what happens. This might lead to Sophris. I'm going in.
Irina
Ow.
pushes him in.
Stop me.
What a
I'm
shock.
an adventurer too."
Good job, bud.
And he does go in. Yeah, he like seems hesitant but dives in also. You guys all are underwater, able to speak to one another, and ready to face the darkness together.
Can I look at the
Necklace
crystal ball
light.
right now?
Yeah. What do you want to do with it? Basically now that you looked at now that you did your astral projection, gazing into the crystal ball, you get the same sense as when you were in the astral projection. So you don't need
Is
to
Burnham in there?
in the ball.
Is he trapped in there trying to get out? And that's why he's fighting a ball in this guy's dreams.
You don't see any Baronum in the ball.
Brandon, I don't know if you
shake
heard
it.
Alex.
And then
but
I'm sorry, no, I didn't.
I'm turning on my necklace light.
Oh,
the
yeah.
holy symbol of Ravenkind, it gives out
Yeah.
sunlight.
It's
Yeah,
just a
it's actually-
flashlight.
Like basically the spell sunlight, right? Isn't it?
It's bright light to 30, dim to 60.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that'll pierce through the darkness better than the ball.
I
wanna
can
shake
do
the
more
ball
if
and
anybody
then
wants more.
ask.
How does this look? Like, is
Pretty
it?
good for now.
Are we all right with this?
You can see each other at least. You can't see the walls.
Better than nothing.
What do you
Are
want?
there
Matt?
still horrible gnashing demon mouths?
Yeah, you can still hear them all over the place. You can't see them.
Great.
Actually, you know what? With this amount of light going out that far, where you see it should go, the shadowy shapes that kind of like impede on the light look strange. They look like arms and claws and mouths and whipped tails and all kinds of strange shapes that suddenly will like come out towards you but then recede.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Uh,
Everybody who hasn't needs to take a wisdom save,
Yeah.
including
Word.
Thomas Cleric. Actually, he's going to lose his.
Should I whiz save for Theo?
I've rolled nothing but 15s all night. This is bizarre. Yeah, okay, no, just 2 of them.
I'll whiz save for Theo because it'll be funny. Oh, you did alright.
Irina's helm gives off an aura, so you have a slightly higher whip save. So actually, Eridan and Theo both succeed, and the cleric doesn't. The cleric screams out and lets out this nasty gargly underwater scream as like he claws at his own head and seems to be like shaking and violently pushing imaginary things away.
He's not being charmed, is he?
He's not being charmed.
Okay.
He's half elf. I don't. Oh, did they get advantage? That's what it is. Or maybe that's only elves. I don't know. Yeah, no, but he's thrashing about and he's like he doesn't look able to continue on his own. Is he tied to the rope too?
Yeah. I
Okay,
think we
cool.
shall
So
be.
you guys are gonna drag him?
You should just drag him unceremoniously.
He's just flailing.
Cool. You guys drag him down and
As his mind is liquefied.
Start sprouting tentacles.
yep.
Aware of every moment. Begging for help.
Yeah. And he does thrash the entire way down through this darkness. But eventually you guys do see a light and you begin approaching it. And as the chattering grows louder and louder and louder and you can barely stand it, you realize that this tunnel that you're looking down looks exactly like it did in the vision. And you can tell that even through his insanity, the cleric knows that too, because he's gazing down it in horror and trying to swim backwards. But he's no match for all of you together. A bunch of big, strong guys. So
Poor guy.
of Sabras. And
It's
so you
unfortunate.
drag him with you. And he keeps pointing back the way you came, but of course it's too late for that. As you guys go through, you come out.
Sorry, loser. You wanted to be an adventurer.
You wanted to be an adventurer. That's what you get. You guys come out to a chamber. And unlike when you saw it in the vision, you can actually see the edges of this place now. As you were swimming downwards, you were swimming. But
Do we fall out of the roof?
you don't fall out of the roof. You walk into the chamber. From what would have been the wall, you would have thought. You walk across it, and it just opens up into a weird, perfectly symmetrical chamber with these kind of slick walls that are coated in a thin layer of oily something that makes them have a sheen.
Don't like
They
that.
seem to be almost flowing around you, all towards the center of the room. And in the center of the room, you see a pedestal with strange runes carved all around its side. And in the very center of the pedestal is as you saw in the diagram in Baronum's house, an iron vial with a weird bulbous bottom and that flares up into a thin stoppered top with a perfectly cut diamond in the very center of the stopper and bronze trimming around it. The capsule is cracked in the center. The diamond is like pieces of the diamond are scattered around. It's clear that it was a perfect diamond, I should have said. And the bronze etching is like peeling down and corroding. And above it is that huge, giant, flowing orb from the vision. And sitting right there, frozen, absolutely solid, is Bernum with the pickaxe driving deep into the center of it. The only thing moving is the pickaxe going in and sundering a space and then being wrenched out, seemingly in time as it flows back into itself, and then doing it over and over again.
It is Doctor Strange.
Around it, you see 3 pedestals, each with not each, 2 of which have crystal balls on them, swirling with energy inside of them, just like the one that Ndam is carrying, as his brightly flashes and seems to like shake in his hand towards the 3rd pedestal, which lies empty. On one of the pedestals, put it up. It whispers into your ear.
Give into the magic.
Put me on the pedestal.
In front of one of the pedestals,
Slapping noises.
yeah. The gibbering has ceased, by the way. It's not there anymore. Sem is in front of one of the pedestals, a spellbook in hand, also completely frozen, mid-word, his mouth like agape.
Is it? Sorry, he's reading.
I have just been overtaken with the great urge to fastball this crystal ball directly at Burnham's face.
It's a solution to the problem.
Just like all this dramatic stuff in silence, and then just like cherry ball impact.
Theo asks, "Is he casting a spell?"
Very slowly.
Well, actually, no. Just Sem is casting a spell. Technically. Everything in this room is simultaneously still and moving. The walls flow inwardly but are completely fixed in place. The orb flows all across its surface in strange like perturbations. Sem's mouth very slightly moves to form like shapes of words, even though nothing's coming out. And as I said, Darren is moving back and forth.
Wait, what did the halfling say?
Sem was going back and forth to fetch water.
He said he was carrying magic water.
Yeah.
No, what did the halfling mumble? Oh my god.
Barnum
That it's
shouldn't
always
have
been
come.
like that?
No, the what?
Which halfling?
The comatose
One
one.
in the bed.
Barnum
Oh.
shouldn't have come.
Burnham shouldn't have come. And we found this somewhere else.
This doesn't look like it's from somewhere else. This place is meant for this thing.
If we install this thing, is it really bad or really good?
That would be the question.
Magic is
Can
always
I-
bad, says Theo.
Can I see what Sem... He's reading something, right? Or is he just doing a
He's
incantation?
reading from his spellbook.
Okay. Can I see what
Actually,
spell
no,
he's
he's
casting?
not. He's reading from a scroll. I'm sorry, it's not his spellbook.
Does it have a title on the top that says this spell is called?
No, you can give me an Arcana check to try to figure out. Actually, no, I'm sorry. You already looked around his house and saw this, and I think it was even your role. This is like from those notes, that complex incantation.
Yep.
He has a different version of it in his hands on this scroll. And he's shouting out into the void, reading from this scroll with his spellbook down by his side. And as you guys are examining, actually, and this weird noise is all throughout this room. This like warble, this deep thrum, and from the back you actually hear like a brief burst of chattering once more, and frantic like whispers. And as you all look back from when you came, you see two figures step out of the same well area that you came from. They are the sorry, Koila? Is that what her name was? Do I have that right? Koila?
Kola, that's what you said.
Kolya, sorry.
Kolya.
Yeah, so Krolya steps forth through the well with anxiety on her face, written plain as day, dragging behind her the child, Teak. And he just looks excited.
That kid's gonna be a good adventurer.
Did they come past Irina?
They came past Irina.
Okay.
I forgot she wasn't in the thing.
Irina might have come with them then.
Yeah, in my mind she was with you guys, so let's say that she came with them.
Yep. Cool.
She comes out and she says, "Wait, they have something to tell you. They know things." And
Good morning.
Krolya looks at all of you and she says, "I'm not too late. Please, listen. We didn't know what we were doing. We thought we were following our instructions. When Barnum left, he just told us to keep it moving, keep it listening, keep it thinking. We've been together. He's been teaching us how to guard this thing, this force, for years now. It absorbs knowledge. It absorbs energy from the words around it, from the thoughts of the things it touches. It takes everything and makes them its own. We don't even know why, but we made a mistake. We didn't mean to. We just thought we were giving it more books. When he left, he said, keep it fed with knowledge. It goes through about a tome a week. That's it. It's satisfied with a tome a week. If you give it a tome a week, it doesn't try to affect what's around it. We didn't know they were spell books.
You taught it magic.
We didn't know it could learn magic. It is magic.
So why do I have this one over here?
he brought that here to try to communicate with it. That was what he thought could talk to it. He said something about mind reading and with the three around it, he tried to extract a piece of it to put it in a real form, to give it a sense of presence of what's around it, to tell it what's happening. And it just backfired. I was there and it almost destroyed me. It started entering my mind through the ball. It ripped through me. I don't even know why it let go. You were there. I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but Dragon Guy.
Nadam.
You said something to it. You talked to it, and it let go of me. It wasn't interested anymore, just like the books.
I'm going to teach it how to meditate.
How are you going to do that?
Just write it down and hand it a piece of paper.
I have just enough key points left to astral project again. And then I'm out.
So when you astral project, you're not the only one who goes in. When you do so, this entire room of people come with you, and you can feel.
Ooh, I can't do that. I didn't know I could do that.
No. For some reason, this place you're in pulls them with you. Like this is a weird space, and you can tell that it's about the space because when you go to the astral plane, it feels like the same walls are around you, the same, like the same cage from before, the darkness at the edges, but now it has a actual barrier. These changing walls are what you feel. They feel different than they look, of course, but they still feel the same idea. They're these completely unnatural, like manufactured walls that constantly shift and flow without ever moving. And in the center is the orb with its pupil eye looking at the entire group. Floating around it are two crystal spheres, which you identify as those spheres from the pedestals very clearly. And from the one in your hand comes the voice. You can feel it vibrate through your body and through the rest of you, as you're all sort of one entity in this place. You're not each individual, even though you have your independent thoughts. And you hear it actually speak. And it says, "Bring me more. There is more. I know it. I see it. I need it." The voice is wispy and flowing in and out. It has different voices mixed into it. It doesn't sound like what I just said. It's completely non-mortal.
I have an idea.
Well, you said you want. So you said you wanted to teach it meditation. What do you mean? Or is this your idea?
So it like reaches out, right?
Yeah. It's feeling all of you.
Nadam is going to try and meditate the way he was never good at.
He takes you over. You are now a vessel.
He's going to try and totally empty himself, empty his mind, and just, to quote a very good animated television series, become void. You know, just like just nothing.
Become air. Enter the void.
Empty mind, empty, just like nothing. Choose to be nothing.
All right, I want you.
Hang on, my earbuds came out. I can't hear anything you're saying. Now I can.
I want you to make me a wisdom check, and you better make a good one.
Check or saving throw?
Do we get the +5 in the astral plane?
Okay.
A wisdom check.
You do, yeah.
I'm
You
going
get +5 in the astral plane, actually.
Well, the +5 is only for saves.
Oh, you're right.
Oh,
sorry.
you're right.
I am going to use the inspiration that I still have.
Now's the time.
Yeah, so roll advantage for sure. 19. So okay, you.
I know. Drop down. Every time I look at that page, it refreshes.
No, it's been doing that to me today too.
You know how to empty your mind, and you've done it many times, and you are capable of
I,
discrimination
I, I,
Take
I think
this.
I think the reason I've never been able to do it right is because the like memories of that day where like there was the duel and my mother was killed always flood up, and I can't tamp those down.
Okay, yeah. And so yeah, little bits come forth, and you don't manage to perfectly empty your mind, but you actually feel it like kind of enter that space, and you feel what it feels for just a brief moment, and it just is pure curiosity and interest. And as it explores this crevice you've made for it, and then it says,
This infinite nothing.
yeah, exactly, and it says, "From nothing, anything may come." But it doesn't seem to change very much after that. It recedes once more and starts probing the rest. Um, the cleric of Savras can't even contain himself. He's like, what have you done to my master? My god is dying because of you. And its attention shifts to the cleric, where it surprisingly responds, and it says, "The taker could only borrow the power. The power came from here, and here it always will return. A matter of time is fleeting in my eye." He could not change any outcome, for he sees but one.
Is this new Savras?
And the cleric basically just bursts into tears, like he's overcome with anguish, and even in the astral plane, you can hear him flipping cards down on the table and wiping them aside as they're not right. Um, it reaches out to Silric and to his vast wealth of knowledge, and Silric, you can try to conceal that if you want.
Yeah, I don't want this thing in my head.
Yeah, I figured. So I'm going to take a wisdom save this time, so you do get +5.
Okay, so no, wait, I had that right the first time.
Isn't it
5
your
plus.
charisma bonus that gets added? Alex?
For what?
For the aura?
Oh, but for saves. Is it a save this time? Not a check.
Yeah, that's +4, not +5, right?
For me, it's your charisma. If it's arenas, then it's 5, I assume.
Oh, yeah, I guess Arena's here, that's right.
All right, then it's that.
Nice. Yeah, you are you're capably concealing pieces as it reaches out to them, but it's so fast that it's hard to do. To do this, you need to kind of clear your mind the way that Lincoln was doing, and it's just snatching bits that you're not paying attention to left and right. You're definitely concealing some important things, but it doesn't seem to matter. But as soon as it's done grabbing these little snippets, it just seems to recede again and be disinterested, and it tells you what is, what shall be may be. It reaches out to Eridan last, and it tries to probe Eridan for his like knowledge and understanding of how this party functions, of the people in this world, and of not your constituents, but like your like the people you consider brethren, because I know that Eridan is pretty much a benevolent ruler who wants the best for the people. Gets a lot of Eldritch Bros stuff on the way.
Oh yeah, a lot of blacksmithing tips. Oh, interesting.
Lots of those in one corner.
Can I cast spells in the astral plane?
Yeah.
Yes.
Should I do it after I attempt a wisdom save?
Yeah, you can. Well, if it is relevant, you can do it now. That's fine.
I was just gonna try and command him.
You're gonna try to command it.
Probably not gonna work because I'm sure he's much wiser than me. But I just want to say it's one word. I'm gonna say release.
When you cast command and you say that word, rather than it resisting your that urge that you see, instead,
Oh, you taught it command.
your like brain splits, and suddenly you have 3 versions of what you can see, and you see 3 different things happening simultaneously. You see it releasing you, and you tumbling back into the room alone with the rest of them like hovering off the ground and holding onto the orb, like literally touching the orb. All of them are in a ring around it. You also see it refusing and you fighting, trying to break out of this cage, pounding against it as it just pulls you back effortlessly. And then you see a different thing, which is simply it watching you and laughing and showing you in fact, like exactly what you are seeing, showing you recursively in a way this exact incident and how you're seeing the different versions and how that changes your personal, um, you know, what you want.
Dormammu.
So you can. So now that you've seen that, what do you want to do?
So it shows me that before I actually do it.
Yeah, while you're doing it, really.
You're seeing 3 possible futures, essentially.
Final answer. Release.
Release
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
exactly like you saw it.
Spotlight's coming
No,
in.
no, no, no.
You
Phone
can-
friend.
Phone a friend. Phone a friend. How do we do this?
Brother!
You command release, and it does not. It
Nope.
simply doesn't.
Didn't think it would.
You try to back away and get away from this tendril that you can feel like probing you, and you just can't. It doesn't matter what you do. Moving in this plane is not movement. The walls confine you. You can't even approach them really. Like they stay at the same distance no matter what you do. You're in this endless prison.
Awesome.
And it says to you, with any amount of with perfect sight, nothing can happen. And suddenly it kicks you all out again, kicks you all back out of this astral plane, and you're back in the room. And they're still frozen, but this thing has its eyeball pupil looking at you in the physical world now. And in your minds, you hear it speak once more, and it says, "What can be may be, but you are the ones to change. I see it. You do it. But which path you choose is yours. Prophecies and future sights do not lead to greatness. They lead only to an end. That end has come. He could not hold on to the power, no matter what he did, no matter who he sent, no matter my fate. I could take this now. I could take it, for I am the unmistaken, and you are the flawed. But instead, I shall show you the paths. This one time, I shall show you all of them. Not one or two. Not an exclusion. Not an unknown future, but the only outcomes. Look now and choose wisely." And then all of you have your minds split the way that Eridan did. And what you see is different versions of what could happen. All of you are thinking about what to do already. All of you are considering the options here. All of you are thinking of destroying this piece. All of you are thinking of trying to trap it in that bottle. All of you are thinking of maybe letting it do its thing, giving it the sphere, hurling the sphere through it. But you basically see 3 different breakdowns of what happens.
What about thinking about using blinding smite? I can blind something for a minute.
That might be good against an eyeball. You see in one version that it as it said, it just takes it. You see the orb flying out of your hand and going onto the pedestal as each of you rush towards to try to do something about it. Blinding smite shines forth. The baseball throw goes forward with super speed. Sylvic tries to poison a magic force. The each one of you just freezes as you strike at it, like arcane words spilling from Bernham's lips as it happens and freezing you in time, as the thing just floats upward lazily and slowly at its own pace. And as the orbs all start like hovering and shaking and arcing energy between them and floating up to it, you also see a different version in which you finally figure out how to get it into its stopper. You see each of you crowding around a different pedestal, reading from a tome or a scroll, shouting out words as it tries futilely to stop one of you than the other, and fails utterly, because there's just too many of you, and it only needs about 3 people. And you see it be crushed into a smaller space and enter that iron vial, the stopper repaired and put on it. And when you see that, a magical force like just dissipates from the area, and you see the cleric of Savras sobbing on the ground, frantically trying to cast any spell and failing completely. The power of divination lost from the world is what it conveys to you through unspoken words. And then you see something much more uncertain. You see you guys all crowding around it, willingly placing the orb down, chanting a few incantations that you don't know, that you've never heard, and you've never understood and don't understand. And this orb rising up with the other crystals and beginning a quick like spiraling upwards as the walls start to crumble and break down, and this space disappears. That vision, you see the cleric casting a card, and then another card, and then a third card. And somehow you all can read those cards and you understand their meaning of 3 branching fates, of 3 options. Only 2 of them revealed, and the other one burnt as the 2 are. This one seems more uncertain. You're not all sure you completely understand it, but it seems that in this option, that power remains in the world. And with these visions, you all collide back into one, and in front of you see the orb floating above its vial, not doing anything.
What the heck?
What do you guys
My
think?
head hurts.
It matters not what
So
you
it
do.
showed us
I will
a
remain
future.
in my place until the next time. And the great ones, they will fall.
What the hell is Burnham into? God, did
Is
you
Burnham
guys know he had
performing?
this other life?
We didn't talk much.
I thought he was just from a nice little like elf family or gnome or halfling, but I knew they weren't dwarves. Jesus,
Lost my headphones.
Who?
Savras,
Keek,
Lathander.
Keek shouts out, Burnham always wanted to keep it in here. He told me. He told me the well was special and that it was like a cage for a beast. He said it wasn't ready. He said it was going to cause chaos. He said that everything would fall apart without this. And the cleric is like just completely overcome, and he's like, they can't change it. If there's no plan, there's no us. We are designed for the plan. Savras needs to be reinstated.
Irina says nothing should be trapped in a cage.
Orb creature, do you promise to not cause any chaos?
Hey, orb bitch.
Hey, spherical one.
Round boy.
6 level 20s versus 1 round boy.
Chaos.
Um,
Merely what the mortal call the short period before order descends back upon them. I simply see what may be. It's your lot that causes the chaos.
I like the way old Sovereigns talked better. I gotta say,
I miss the old.
this guy talks funny.
I thought Cyrus was a girl.
Eh.
That's a different.
Nadam is just looking at the third uncertain card.
Mhm.
Maybe we don't have the wisdom to choose.
Theo says,
Saying
what do you
flip a
mean? I'm
coin?
hella wise.
Maybe it's
They made
dangerous
me a
to
king.
try.
Yeah, we're still not sure about that one, actually.
Maybe what?
Maybe it's dangerous to try, to pretend we know what to do.
I'm leaning towards uncertain.
We've done
I
pretty
don't
well
like
with
knowing the
uncertain in the
answers.
past.
Really
Just
good.
throw dice with the fate of the whole world.
Yeah. I mean, if everything's supposed to work out according to the plan.
Isn't that what we were doing before?
True.
After this, with the uncertainty, there will be no more plans.
That's good. I don't like the plans. The plan thing. I learned about the plan about 7 minutes ago, and it weirds me out.
You
We
mean
can stick to our
divine plan. I look up at the orb. The great ones you mentioned.
The great ones, their plans have been foiled before they even realized they had them.
I do like free will.
I feel like I need to pray.
Do what you gotta do.
This is stressful. I mean, it's not my god on the line, but it still stressed me out.
You may do what you wish, but they won't hear you here.
Lame.
Yours made sure of that. And he gestures, at Obelus,
Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan.
Yeah, what does this crackpot think we should do?
He didn't show us an outcome where Salvarus is there. All
Showed
of
us
these
one
were
where
bad
we
outcomes.
didn't know.
There's no good way to resolve this. If the question is whether or not I would keep my powers, then I would keep my powers. But if he's deceiving us, if it's lying, then
It doesn't seem like the type.
I don't see why it would lie.
It's been very upfront so far. Well,
I think uncertainty.
I think uncertainty too.
Irina votes
Divination.
uncertainty.
all right.
you have the power. Crystal ball.
Anybody
promise.
write down those incantations? Can I see
pick
the
up the
vision again?
uncertainty card?
You guys remember them.
I pick up the burnt uncertainty card?
The
That's-
burn
that's in the
uncertainty
future.
card doesn't show anything. It's burnt on both sides. You can't see what it says. And he says to you, that would defeat the point. We are breaking plans, not making them.
Woo!
You may know some. I know all. I am the unmistaken.
It knows all the correct answers and all the incorrect answers. It doesn't know which is which, so it's all kind of meaningless anyway.
Getting real philosophical in this episode.
So
I
the
like-
options were do a bunch of incantations, put it in a box.
Yeah, fight it, put it in a box.
Free it,
Actually-
basically. Like,
Free it to do whatever it wants. Or wait, sorry, what were the three?
yeah, it was fighting it, doing incantations to put it in a box, or willingly giving it the crystal ball.
Right, sorry, one of the three options was you guys fail when you fight it, and it just
Yeah.
breaks out anyway. That's right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it took the crystal ball. You guys fought and lost.
Third option is being the ones to give it its power and let it do its thing.
all in favor?
How to do now, even though you didn't know how to do.
All in
Aye.
favor of what?
Uncertainty.
Giving it the crystal ball.
Yeah. Not removing divination from the world.
Killing all the gods.
I suppose that's the right
Trusting.
idea. What are you going to kill all the gods? It doesn't respond.
It's going to kill all the gods.
everyone has free will. If it wants to try, it's allowed to do that. Who am I to put it in a box?
And you guys have that orb ready to put on the pedestal, and you know the incantations. And you, I assume, put it down, stand around it like you saw.
I'm doing it.
Everybody is joining in on this, including Soria and Soria. I should have memorized that name better. Sorry. It's Croyla. Crolia. I'm sorry. And Teak. All of them are joining hands.
Damn, this kid's in for a lot more than you realized.
And as you all like begin speaking these incantations, the thing breaks farther out of this vial that it's been in, and that thing completely shatters. A wave of energy emanates outwards and like is absorbed into all of your bodies. But most of you feel like this sense of like ending and closure when that happens. It brings you back down to the ground. You stop levitating. Those words you were speaking begin to fade from your memory. Some of these alternate versions that you've seen become less detailed in your mind. They're more like you had a conversation about them than like you actually saw them. But not the three. Obolus, Teak, and Krolia all keep floating. And as it swirls and circles, it says, "Of course, I will need messengers."
These are mine.
Yo! We were just telling you slavery's not cool.
It is not a slavery. It is a service.
Indentured servitude is not cool.
And he lifts up, and they keep on floating. And as he like begins thrumming himself and emanating these powerful sounds, all three of them begin sprouting beards, wild beards. The half elf gets a beard, Croila gets a beard, Teak gets a beard. None of them should have them. And all of them like look around, surprised at first, and then they kind of nod, and an understanding dawns on them, and they each turn to you and look to you, and they kind of rest back down on the ground, and one by one speak to you, saying, "I see.
There is no Dina, only Zool."
I see."
Are you the gatekeeper?
And they tell you all these powers destined for Savrus and his will now lie with us. We will dispense what information we can. But we three warn you. The Unmistaken will not tell you more in his way. He will remain here. And for any question this realm has for us, only two of us will come. The third will never answer the same question, if it has been answered already twice. That's because things are going to be uncertain.
Did Teak say that?
Yep. And with that, the orb just spins away into nothing. It disappears. The walls have crumbled away, and you're now in a normal tunnel, and you can see back behind you. There's a weird, watery, shimmery field in between you and the well, what you presume is the well hole, which you can see far in the distance. And nothing's left. Those three stay there and just watch you.
Where's Burnham and Sam?
Oh, I'm sorry. Burnham and Sam, at the end of the incantation and all this, they're suddenly released. And Burnham's like, "Ah! I got it! I did it! It's gone! We did it! Yes!"
Way to go, Burnham. That was all you. Everything that happens now is your fault.
You're doing it.
You did it, bud. I'm so proud
Way
of
to
you.
go, Burnham. You saved us. Thanks, Burnham.
Sam's like,
Oh, we came to help you, but like we got all tangled up in it, but then you saved us. And caused anything that happens from now on.
Why you don't feed your gremlins after midnight?
I don't remember that. Did someone, go in there?
Look, don't worry about it.
Oh yeah.
This is year 1 of the Burnham era. You done good.
Sam walks over and pats him on the back and is like, I think we did it, though.
Yes, you too will share the blame.
I thought for sure I was going to take at least 2 more wizards. And we're actually a little bit over already, so I think that's where I'm going to call it. The 3 wave weirdly in sync as you guys leave, and you guys have a lot of explaining to do to the oldest man of the town.
No, we don't.
And to maybe the Church of Savras.
I think what you mean is that Burnham has a lot of explaining to do.
Burnham did everything.
I don't understand why I have to explain it all.
I don't really know what happened. I just got here.
Burnham, we all just got here. Credits.
Thank you all for joining. Thank you, my players. You have been great. I'm sorry we had a lot of technical difficulties, people dropping in and out, but it worked out with the amount of players we had. And that was a great lot of fun for me. I hope it was fun for everybody watching. Feel free to tell us what you did or didn't like about the episode. And do we have any announcements to make?
We've got the finale of Into the Black this Monday, 7:15 p.m. Pacific. Lincoln, if you want to say anything.
Is it a 3-hour episode or a 2-hour episode?
TBD?
Okay.
We'll post on the page and we'll let everybody know.
Yeah.
You guys will be the first to hear about it.
Uncertain.
Person with the astral plane. That person will
It will be a 2-hour or a 3-hour episode. I couldn't tell you a third amount.
And the third option is a secret.
And with that, I think we're all done. I don't know how to end this thing.
I got it. You don't got it. Nothing. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye now.
Rip Savras.
Rip Savras in Azamar.